What's up, everybody? What up, what up, what up, everybody? Sorry about the late. We got a snowstorm I wasn't sure was coming. What up, what up, what up, everybody? My bad, y'all. I'm getting everything situated. Sorry, it's taking me a little bit to get in and get situated. But let me show y'all what I'm working with. Hey, let me show y'all what I'm dealing with. And this, I've already cleaned the porch off once. We've got a shitload of snow and it is coming down, so yay. Christmas time. What up, what up, what up, what up? Sunshine! What's up, baby? Let me turn my camera on. What's up, sweetie? How you doing? So tonight, I thought we would have a topic conversation. I'm gonna have. I know a couple people are gonna be stopping through. Like I said, I'm running a little late. I apologize. But Isaiah, I think, is gonna come through. I think Chris and Bronsberg's gonna come through. Um, let's smoke. You like my tree? Ain't a party? Exile. Ooh, good. I was hoping you would come around. I was hoping that you weren't too busy because I would like. So I want to start doing some topic conversations. Sometimes when we're on Bronsberg's panel, we'll get into some really good topics. And me and Bronze has talked about, just doing some topic conversations. So tonight's conversation is going to be men and women. So I want to kind of cover up relationships. I would like to talk about emotions. I would like to talk about careers. I would like to talk about everything men and women. You know what I mean? So there will be some ground rules. Like, I don't want nobody yelling and screaming, including myself. I'm going to try to check myself. Um, but I really would. I think, and then, we'll do this one tonight, and then we'll decide as a group what the next topic is going to be. And so, we could talk about race, we could talk about culture, we could talk about just all kinds of different things, So, we'll still have it is definitely going to be an open panel. So, Sean, I would love for you to come up as well. Um, I just think that sometimes, we, even as men and women, we don't talk to each other, you know what I mean? Like, or we already have our minds made up, or just whatever, you know what I mean? So, I think that if there's something we could a forum that we can all talk, I think go good. I think that would actually be great to have the man and woman conversation without a bunch of screaming and yelling. Yeah, so there will be ground rules anytime we're doing any of the what's up, Brownsburg? Woo woo. Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good. I'm running late too, so it's all it's all good. I can't even bitch. We got hit with a shitload of snow, so yeah, there will be ground rules. We don't want a bunch of yelling and screaming, and you're allowed to have different opinions and stuff, but it's got to be respectfully. There's not going to be dogging men. There's not going to be dogging women. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be conversation. And if you're not having a conversation, I will mute you. And if you need to take a breather, I'll give you a 5 minute little, you dig, so you can breathe. I get it. We all get emotional. But so I'll give everybody a chance while you guys get yourself situated. Let me finish getting situated real quick, and then we will start this. I think it'll be a good show. I think it'll be a good show. What's up, Remy? Henny? What's up? How you doing, sweetie? And we do have the virtual going and the panel going tonight. So you're more than welcome to join us. Most people are on the panel side, even though I do have quite a few on the virtual side tonight. So tonight we are doing a topic conversation, meaning meaning just that. We're gonna make sure I have everything. Sorry, y'all. Get my all my situated stuff. Mm, mm, mm. I'm gonna drop the link. Give me 2 seconds. And so like on tonight we're doing a topic conversation. I want people that are gonna come up and talk about the topic. We're not just gonna have random shit. Um, you know what I mean? We could do a panel later on Talk Your Ish if you guys want, depending on how long we go here. And if people want to do all the silly shit, we can do there. But I really, 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 really want to try to keep this a good conversation. Get your smoke. It is cold, dude. I can't believe we're getting all this fucking snow. Luckily, I mean, it pretty much waited until. Oh, I was like, I guess you would be in here. Huh? Makes sense. My daughter, I was like, my son's at work. Why is this TV playing so loud? Heat is off. What the fuck? Probably why it's fucking cold. All right, we're gonna drop the link. Let you guys come on up if you want. Like I said, this is a topic conversation. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you have not. And if for some crazy ass reason you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You know, help a girl out. Help a girl out. We used to have a lot of topic conversations over here, and I kind of just between being busy and it's just life. But I do want to get into that again. 'Cause I really do enjoy stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I like talking my shit and all that, but we all got a little bit more in us than just talking shit. I know we do. All right, so I don't know if it does it drop it. Let's see. Does it drop into the virtual? Yes, I see you, Irby. Well, I see you, but I see both. You're on the virtual side. All right, I'm gonna roll up. Ah! One of my kids broke my damn stand that holds my phone and everything, and it has my little ring light on it. So at some point, I'm gonna have to go grab one of them. Dude, it's snowing so bad, and I have a photo shoot Saturday. This is really sucks. I really wish it would stop. Luckily, though, it did stop. It didn't start snowing until I was driving home, so it wasn't too bad. Like right now, it's bad. The expressways are covered in snow. Virtual sometimes doesn't work. You have to post it. Yeah, well, if you guys come over to the panel, I really didn't mean to do the virtual, to be honest. This okay, good, 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 good. I'm like, man, I hope it fucking stops because we're supposed to be getting another snowstorm Saturday too. So hopefully they can get the roads together. So, because I think both of Wade, if I'm not mistaken, both of us are coming into the city, right? She's not there either. I don't think. I'm not either. I live like a half an hour outside of the city. I still gotta find a satin sheet. Mhm. So I was talking to my husband and so I was telling him about our conversation that we're gonna do tonight. So is it open panel? No, you guys are more than welcome to come up. It's open panel, but we're just gonna keep a topic conversation. So like everybody that comes up, I mean, yeah, of course we can check in. Hey fuckers, how you doing? Blah blah blah. But I would like it to be specifically, you know, on this. Shout out to True Zone. I was over listening to him all day while I was at work. I'll tell you what, he's been here lately, been doing these long ass panels, and I have to say I appreciate it because when I'm at work, listen, Just want to give him a shout out. He's been putting that work in. Yeah, we are not on Talk Your Ish, you guys. We're on Hot Mess. I've got it, Katrina. I've already laid out the rules. Not a lot of trolling going on in the chat. You know what I mean? I really want to, I think that we can have conversations. Mm, My bad. Hold on. Whoever's in the back. Exa, what up, bro?
You're good. You just had your hands full. I was gonna wait. No, I was just asking because I didn't know if like you and the people you had scheduled to come over was gonna have an opening base, statements and conversation, and then later let everybody up on after the conversation and give their opinions and their thoughts and ideals. Some people do it differently. Some people let everybody up from right out the gate of the conversation that they've already got preset. So I was just making sure the order was properly and I wasn't hitting the link too early.
No, you're good. I mean, you would be one of the people I'd want to come up anyway. You know what I mean? On the, that's why I was
That's
like,
what's
oh,
up.
yay.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
You know
got
how we
back
be
from.
talking. You know how, oh, go ahead.
Go. I was gonna say I just came back from this guy's channel because he said I was a coward, would never join his panel because I'm incapable of normal conversation. Because I do a lot of drama trolling and fuckery, but
Right.
I guess he's never caught me in the rare element where I do have conversations and stuff. And I told him I am capable of conversation, and I did show up because you thought I was too scared to come over and hit the link. And then, oh, his attack dog came up there. He was so emotional. He was trying to pressure me to stop hanging with this other creator I hang with and everything else. And I told him, I said, dude, I'm an internet troll. I said, yes, I have normal conversations. I said, you go look at my channel itself. That's mostly what it is normal conversation. It's just when I'm surfing the net, a lot of trolling and fuckery be going on, and I join in and I find it entertaining. And he just,
Right.
oh, it's brain rotting. You and your fed friend flow state and blah blah blah.
Right. I don't
Just
know who any of those people are. And this is completely not of any we're trying to talk about, Exile.
nah,
Come on,
nah.
dude. Really?
Okay, my bad. But anyway, I just got back from having a normal conversation. It was the gist of what I was basically saying, while somebody was trying to pull me out of the element of having normal conversation with the channel creator.
Well, and that's kind of what got me thinking because when we're sometimes, I mean, yeah, of course, when we're on the power, over at Brownsburg, of course, we go crazy and all that. But sometimes we have some really, really good fucking conversations. And so, and we're all trolls. You troll, I troll, we're all y'all troll, all of us troll. But it is nice sometimes because when we do get those little golden nuggets of really good conversations, I'd be like, God damn, that was a good conversation. You know what I mean? And so I guess in some sense too, I want to show that oops, shit, we can have some. And yes, Sean, it's about relationships. Anybody's more than welcome to join. Please join. Matter of fact. But I just want to kind of show that yeah, we can have some regular conversations, without talking some shit. So I
Yeah,
thought relationships
I
would
couldn't
be a good one to
understand the
start out with.
logic. I just couldn't understand the logic of that guy saying I was a coward that never joined his panel to have normal conversations. I come up to have a normal conversation with him, but his little friend comes up there because he's butthurt about the trolling that's happened in other chats with that creator. And it's like, dude, you said I can't have a normal conversation, yet you let a dude up that's emotionally not capable of having a normal conversation right now while we were having a perfectly normal conversation.
Right.
But it is what it
Yeah.
is. I told him I'll come back at another time because he was actually hosting a music stream and he said he'd like to get back to it. And I said, yeah, that's fine. Get back to it. I didn't mean to interrupt your content. I was just in the chat letting you know I stopped by. I told you I'd stop by when I seen you live.
Yeah. Well, I
I
think
don't
sometimes
expect.
people might see all of us. It's sometimes what we do is all we be trolling, and so I mean, I ain't gonna front. Sometimes when we have some good conversations, I'll be like, all right, look at us doing the damn thing. You know what I mean? Because we do troll a lot. So I can't. I guess I can't say I wouldn't be shocked if people are like, because people are shocked when they find out even like the community shit that I do. You know what I mean? They're like, "Wait a minute, hold on, bitch! Like you actually do like stuff." You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Yeah, I actually do stuff." And they're like, "I just thought you were a fucking degenerate because all you do is talk shit." And I'm like, "Well, that's a part of me too. I have many parts of me." So one thing that they find out real quick is because once you do go up there and have a good conversation with them, he'll see really quick that, oh, wait a minute, you kind of. Yeah, come over, Isaiah, come over to go to my main, go to the, like, hit my channel and then hit where the panel one is, not the one with the phone. Because unfortunately, if you're in virtual, the links don't work until after we have it. Link is pinned.
But
Okay,
yeah,
thank you, Katrina. But
everybody
you know
I
what I mean?
hang everybody I hang out with is capable
Hey,
of
Cass.
both. I love my
Oh,
drama kings
100%.
and queens, but if they're not capable of a normal conversation, I'm going to look at them as they're nothing more than a fucktard, and that's why they like drama. It's not entertainment for them. It's just all they can do. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So
What
I
I
mean,
agree with the statement.
I tried to go at
100%.
I tried to go to this channel that said I was incapable of normal conversation, to have normal conversation while his friend is up there emotional about stuff that isn't happening at the
Right.
moment but has happened on panels. Just to formally introduce myself instead of them just having their own little opinions of me, let them form an opinion off of observation. So I'm glad that you're holding a normal conversation because I've already put myself in the mindset to be in a normal, talkative conversation today rather than my usual trope.
Well, holler. And Sunshine, get your butt up here. I don't got any inputs. There he is. What's up, Isaiah? What's up,
What's
KS?
going
Thanks,
on?
guys, for waiting on me. Cause like I'm so sorry, but look, let me show you all. Look what happened. Like it literally, I did not know that we were getting snow. I thought we were getting Arctic blast. I thought it was going to be cold, but I did not check and see that
No, it's snow.
we not only have snow, but have a shitload of snow. As
Bro,
I picked up a
you
I
are
helped
further.
out it's just me and my brother-in-law that do the cleaning business. And so I picked up one of his nights tonight. And so I was out and I kind of got stuck in it a little bit. So, anywho,
Yeah, it looks like frozen hell out there. Ice Satan is hiding around the corner outside somewhere.
yeah, it's really big and pretty snow. I will say that though. I will say,
Yeah.
oh, here, let me put my graphic
Look,
up because I
you got
forgot
the
we had a
nice,
thumbnail made.
big fluffy flakes. Like we got the skinny crackhead flakes.
Oh, yeah, we
I'm
got
not
the
gonna
something
lie.
Flakes that
pretty.
hurt when they hit you.
I like the look of white blanketing it all over of snow during the season. I just don't like the cold that it brings.
Oh, see, right? It's weird because normally, it's not like that fucking cold. Especially if you get snow, right? It's not that fucking cold, right? But it's well, I guess we're getting a lot more ice shit, like ice buildup and shit here because it's so fucking cold. Snow's not bad. I can go outside without a jacket on, right? And when it's real snowy, it's whatever. But this is bullshit. This is
where, where
it
I
I
ain't.
live,
agree.
it depends.
Bullshit.
It depends on what the winter feels. I mean, we be having some winters where it's in the 30 something degrees, and it's not too bad. And it's a warmer feeling 30. But this year, it's been that colder feeling 30 and below on down to like 15 degrees. And I'm just like, oh, I'm over it already.
Yeah, like we're the end of November and it's like, all right, bitch is like, hey, it's 15 to 18 fucking degrees for a week straight, but it feels like -2. Haha, fuck you.
Right. Hold on, guys. I
Moisture.
want to say hey to the chat. Hey, everybody in chat. What's up? Tonight we are, yes, this is a little different, Michael. We are doing something a little different. You don't just get a solo with me. Oh, wait, that's the wrong way. You also get me and my friends tonight. We're going to be doing a panel discussion tonight. I do that from time to time because I like to show that, yes, me and my friends can be trolls at times, but also there's different parts of us. We're pretty smart and we can have some really good conversations. And so tonight, we'll be doing a bunch of these tonight. Though we're going to tackle relationships. on all different levels. We're going to talk about relationships. We'll talk about maybe careers, roles that men and women can play. Just we're going to talk about it all, and we're going to be respectful. We're going to try not to yell and scream at each other and cut each other off. And so I'm giving it about 5-10 more minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and start the panel. So right now the guys are just chit chatting, which I'm okay with that. But I just wanted to touch in with it real quick. We got Wendy in the house. What's up, everybody? Elle's in the house. Sean, Katrina. Oh, everybody's here. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, grab your popcorn, get your drinks, get comfy, roll up, do whatever it is you got to do. Yeah, you got some snow too, I see. And then we will be starting in just a few minutes. But right now we're just kind of bullshitting. So go ahead, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off.
We won't all be
Oh, no
assholes and talk
problem. It's your
about,
channel.
kitchen duties, right? All right. It's not what this is about. Sorry.
But nah, Isaiah, like you were saying, yeah, this winter is something else. There's a lot of ice sticking underneath the ground, and it's snowing again before the ice underneath the ground gets to soften up, and it's just like then the added. It's a windy winter. I don't know where you're at, but like the
It's a
wind is
lot of
blowing
wind.
like crazy with this stuff.
I'm straight
Well,
off
that's
Lake
what
Erie, and it sucks.
the Antarctic blast that we're all getting this weekend is coming with a lot of wind. So that's what I thought it was. And so last night when we were out doing outreach and stuff like that, we were giving everybody blankets and all that kind of stuff because but I didn't tell them it was going to snow because I just thought it was going to be the Arctic, like the -10 temperatures. You know what I mean? But
We thought the
nah.
snow wasn't supposed to come in until like Monday, Tuesday.
It's under reach. Oh,
What did you say, KS?
we didn't even have snow on the
I knew
forecast.
the snow wasn't supposed to come in until like Monday into Tuesday.
Yeah, and then we're also we got this set coming in. KS is where I'm at. We're getting this set that's coming in, and then we're also getting another front with more snow on Saturday.
Yeah,
God, you guys are getting
us
hammered.
too. This was not supposed to, we weren't supposed to get snow the last 2 days. It's actually projected some fucking rain. I was hoping I was actually, because I got some fall cleanup shit, leaves and shit to do. I was actually hoping it was going to be in the 30s, 40s because it was projected to warm up a bit. And I'm like, all right, cool, rain's coming in. It's going to melt all this bullshit. I'll go finish these fucking jobs I never got able to do right at the end of the season. And then it just, fuck you, freeze over, and here's some more snow on top of it.
Yeah, well, I have a photo shoot. Thank goodness it's inside. But I have a photo shoot Saturday, so I'm like, ugh, I still got to get stuff for my photo shoot. I got to go get my eyelashes done. I'm like, come on, man, all this fucking snow.
Oh shit! Cutting diamonds in that bikini in the snow shoot. Oh shit!
No, we're doing some inside shoots today, Saturday. So we're gonna be reacting a couple things, and then we're doing just a couple different things. You guys will see some of them.
I say this, sis, but I still feel like I don't say it too often. Thank you for helping the people that are in need, the people that a lot of people forget about. Like that shit is great. That shit is worth praise and a lot more praise than I often give, and a lot of people often don't give you.
No, I
And
appreciate
it's
it. I
only
really
getting
do.
tougher. It's
Even we
also
don't
getting
agree with
tougher
Cat
for these
Pigs,
people that
but
it's already tough with. Like, how are they making
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go
homelessness
out
illegal?
if the roads aren't too bad. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. I got 16 cans of vegetable soup. So I was thinking about making that and going giving it out tomorrow night, but we'll see what the roads look like. What's up, 420? So yeah, just try to keep everybody because we got a lot of people in. That was one thing last night that I was very happy about, is we did get a lot of people indoors and stuff. But yeah, there's still people that are out there. So I'll probably be going, and me and Sarah will probably meet up and go give soup out.
When you
thank you.
normally do like a give out run, are you just literally driving down the fucking street, and you just stop?
So now that you're on this channel and you know this channel, every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, or you can even go back and watch them. But every single Wednesday, and then sometimes other days, it just depends. Like tomorrow night, I'll probably be out. because of all the snow. But I'll go out and I take you guys with me.
No.
And we go into camps and we go everywhere. Now every now and then you'll see the back of people or you'll see the feet of people, but you won't see like their faces and stuff like that because I don't believe in re-exploitation. But you hear everything. I mean, people have
Yeah.
seen me Narcan people and save somebody from dying. People have seen me give wound care to people that they're had just got shot or just got I mean all kinds of crazy shit. But it's really good because it really shows you like it's one thing to be like, oh, she goes out and gives people some sandwiches and some socks, but it's so much more than that. So
Yeah.
much more than that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't know that. That's fucking awesome.
I seen her try to help this lady find placement so she could get out the streets before, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I'm putting in the last couple. It's like if I find a women like, or even a father, whatever. If I find somebody with kids, I will do everything in my power. And usually, the people that support me, they'll help donate and stuff like that. But I'll get them in hotels. I put people on the bus. I think in the last couple of weeks, we put 3 or 4 different people on Greyhounds and sent them back home with their families. So yeah, it's a lot.
Honestly, I can't wait to get back on my feet so I can actually start donating towards your causes. Because I mean, it sucks. I be watching it and I'm like, damn, why did I have to be misplaced out of my job months back? And then I had a job for a couple weeks because they gave it to me waiting on my criminal background to come back. Then my criminal background came back and they let me go. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not gonna blow shit up around here, goddamn it. I'm trying to make money
and
for
that's
my
good.
family.
The small
Yeah,
thing you can do
and it's
is
all good.
like,
It's all good,
like
Excel,
and
because
share.
like I know
If
even
you-
people just supporting and people just showing up to the live and giving a thumbs up and encouraging. You know what I mean? It means a lot. Yesterday we were out. Sorry, I just got to tell you all. If you all did not see yesterday's live, I'm on outreach. So I'm really known for taking care of the animals on the street. Like I always have their food. I always have like toys and leashes and harnesses and we'll help them get to the vaccines and all that kind of shit, right? But I had a big dog, this fluffy, really nice dog bed, and I gave it to one of my little pit bulls that I've been helping him for a long time, him and his dad. And she thought it was a toy, and she just kept jumping on it. She kept bouncing on it. She was so fucking happy. It literally like made my whole everything. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was just like, out of all this shit going on, like, you know what I mean? This dog knows. This dog knows they're on the streets. This dog does not have it easy, just like a human doesn't have it easy, But to see that little bit of joy in that baby girl's eyes, just bouncing all over that little bed and everything, and just she hasn't torn it up yet. I seen her dad today, and I asked, and he's like, "Nope, it's still good." So, but it was just, I don't know, dude. It was really cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see who
Well,
we have up here. We have J1's in the back. Sean, what's up, Sean?
hopefully, sis, I'll be able to help here soon. Cause like this job that I just got, they're often known for hiring convicts, felons, and even some people out of the work release program in prison. So my
Oh, shit,
record
that's what's up.
my record shouldn't get me kicked out of this place. Like, oh God. But
As long as you don't blow it up, right?
I just gotta make sure my worth ethic is what they like, and I'm sure I'll be able to stay at this place for quite some time.
And you'll do good, you know what I mean? Because once you get back in the swing, it also, and this is something that we can talk about when it comes to the men's stuff, right? Because if for anybody that doesn't know, tonight we are talking about men and women issues. We can talk about relationships, we can talk about emotions, we can talk about all things. Yeah, can I get a lady on panel with me? Holler. Not that I love having all my brothers up here with me, but damn females.
He was coming into this shit at least. Damn, bro. Like, where the women at?
She's usually in bed by midnight. I was gonna start earlier, but shit happens. I was scheduled to start at 10, but then this snowstorm and driving home from work, here we are. I don't worry. I ain't worried about it. I got all y'all. I can represent for the ladies. Mic check. You good, Sean?
Look, I don't know if I want to argue with you, the only woman here, because you might fuck us all up. So.
Yeah, well, I represent all kinds of females. Well, I want to make sure, Sean, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you?
It's choppy a little bit. Let me see if I can play with it. Oops, sorry. That's not funny. Shut up, Isaiah.
I didn't say nothing.
My husband always says I talk naturally like a pervert, so can't help it. All right, let me see how you sound.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's better.
No, I can hear that.
KS, you good?
I should be good.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and start a little bit. So tonight, I really wanted to get into, every now and then we're going to start doing some topic conversations, right? And we're going to get into some hard ones. This is kind of like the in my mind, the easiest one out of some of the ones we've talked about. And last time we were all on panel together, we chose relationships first. And then whoever's on the panel at the end of this will help me choose the next panel conversation that we're going to have. And we're going to talk about, I mean, tonight could be about, we're probably going to do a couple of the relationship things, or the not even relationship, but men and women kind of themes, because I think there's a lot of topics that we can touch on that need to be talked about. And then, but also other topics that we had talked about was race, careers, what was some, Isaiah, what was a couple of other things we talked about? Culture, religion.
Yeah, like black, white, blue, politics, gender politics, there are UFOs, conspiracy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
So
sorts of shit.
we'll have some good, and you guys will know because I'll schedule them out. I'll try to schedule them out at least, a day. Like I did it this morning, so it was good enough for everybody to get notifications. But so that's what we'll be talking about. My fiance's dad on Monday before I get married. I'm so sorry, sweetie. I'm praying for you and for everybody that left her. All right, so guys, I got you fellas up here. What do y'all want to talk about when it comes to, what would you all like to talk about first when it comes to the relationship aspect of things? Somebody kick it off. All right, let me ask you guys this. So in a relationship, do you think me and my husband were just talking, and he was like, well, men are supposed to be logic and women are supposed to be emotional. And I was like, well, yeah, but I'll just start it off. I don't think all men think logically, and I don't think all women think just emotionally. Now, I do think emotions is a big part of us, because it's kind of how we were made, which is good, because that means like it helps you be a better caretaker. It just helps you do a couple different things, right? So I don't see that as a weakness, or I don't see that as whatever. But I also, and this is not a dig at men, but I don't think all men think logically all the time. So what's your all's opinions?
I think I'm a big pussy, and I am one to be in my emotions at points, but I'm a highly fucking logical person, right?
Okay.
And I mean, reasonably though, like, I couldn't be with a woman who doesn't have enough logic behind her, right? Maybe, I don't know, fucking don't do this. If you expect this outcome, don't do this. But yet you do, it goes both ways. But women specifically, right? Like, just say like a woman is saying something to, right? Like you said, you'll pipe off to a really big man, right? You might be able to back your shit up, right? But the chick that's smaller than you that I'm with at the moment, right, pipes off to some dude that's 6'5" that, I mean, I don't even want to fucking try and fuck with this guy, right? Gets me into that situation.
Isaiah, I'm only 5 foot tall. I don't know how big you think I am, but I'm little.
Well, all right. I just assumed you're like 5'5" and just, I mean, not big, but just just ripped.
No, I'm petite. I'm very tiny, actually.
So
that's the funny part of all this, is I'm actually itty bitty.
Same point, and I mean, I don't think the man is there to provide, protect. So regardless of the size differential, it's still the man's job, in my mind, to protect you in that aspect. But I don't think, and I'm pretty sure you said that before too. Though it's not, he's there to provide and protect, but it's not your job to put him in that situation unnecessarily to protect, right?
Well, yeah, because I think sometimes, because for me, like when I see, like when I look. well, I didn't really look for my husband. He kind of fell in my lap. But once I realized, okay, well, like we're getting married and stuff like that, because relationships for me never worked out. Like
Was that like
relationships,
a
as a
tree
young,
falling on, like, you know, I don't know, fucking mushroom or something?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, kind of. So, but I always knew that if I ever was to get married, I guess something that I would like, some qualities that I wanted, I never, my like list that everybody has was never too insane, but it was, provider, protector, but like you said, I also don't think, and this is sometimes I see women do this sometimes, and I'm sure people think that I would do this, but one thing I will never do is put my king in, and that's how we kind of look at it, king and queen. You know what I mean? He's my husband. He's my everything. And just like in, was it chess or checkers or whatever, the queen is supposed to protect the king. And that's why she's there. And it's not my job to put him in stupid situations. Now, I also don't want to be married to a pussy, because even though I may not put you in some stupid situations, but if there are situations wherever arise, I want to know that my husband is going to, or the men around me, not even just my husband. I don't just expect that out of my husband. You know what I mean? Because I have people that I call brothers that are my friend, and again, I'm not going to put any of them also in a situation that is bad. But if a situation outside of the internet was to ever arise, yeah, I expect
Wait,
my brothers to stand up there.
male friend or not, I don't care. You're in a fucking nightclub and you see some fucking dude, yeah, getting irate with a chick. Yeah, I mean, to that fucking point, it's your job as a man to fucking step in and stop it, right? I mean,
Uh-huh.
there's reasonable limits, but like, other than her legit like trying to stab the motherfucker, like really, it's the chick acting out, right? Like crazy, like dude going at a chick. It's a man's job to stop it. I don't give a fuck if you know him or not, and it
Yeah,
sucks.
I mean,
But
I think that,
it's a man role.
and even if it's
That's part of protect.
okay, Isaiah, we get it.
I,
even if I don't necessarily think that, because I think some women would be like, okay, well, I expect you to go fight, right? In some situations, the best scenario might be to get the female out of the situation. You know what I mean? It ain't about you, like, it ain't always about, because I don't need somebody also that's just going to be quick handed and start shit all the time, right? Like, I also want somebody that thinks logic, because that's what,
de-escalation.
yeah, and logically you would know how to de-escalate a situation instead of escalating a situation, right? And sometimes some men and some women, even in relationships and in anything else, can do that. So I think that that's where the logic aspect on both. I don't think it's just men think logic, because that's kind of what me and my husband were talking about. He's like, well, men think logic and women think emotional. I was like, yeah, but I don't think that. I think both could be both. I think men can be emotional sometimes, and I think women can also be logic, because, like you said, you want a woman that's going to be like, hey, sweetie, I don't think this is too smart. Maybe I ain't telling you what to do, but I think you might look like an idiot, or you might end up in jail, or you might lose a lot of money, or whatever the situation may be. I think it's good to bounce a lot of things off of having that feminine and male energy. What does anybody else think about what we're talking about?
Exactly, panel. What you got?
I mean, both male and females, they both think logically and they both go off of emotions.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with you and him on that. I mean, let me try to articulate my thought process in a format where others can understand what I think, because I often have a problem with that. But like, I think men and women are both logical and, how can I say it? They have survival instincts, which is, logic. Like a woman, she has the logic when it comes to the emotional more than a man often. A man can emotionally regulate, and from a logical standpoint, when dealing with emotions, a lot of times men clash where women don't do that. But a woman is more often to pick up emotional on something and create an argument based off of feelings, which, in a format kind of takes away some form of logic because they're not looking at a situation that's more important than, investing feelings in this situation or that situation where it's not a make you or break you situation. But it's not like that with all women or men. In some cases, those roles are reversed, but they're both capable of both aspects. Men, at times when they know to put that emotional shit aside where women don't, and women know when to put the emotional shit aside when men don't. And then women know how to apply logic to certain things that men don't, and men know how to apply logic where women don't at some point. I think when in a relationship, it takes both units to find that fine balance so everything works to the maximum capacity for both people to benefit off of the relationship and the situation they're in.
Complement each
Yeah.
other. Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. Most definitely. I think sometimes, to me, it feels like sometimes, especially on these panels, um, well, no, not all, well, not just the panels. Sometimes in general, it feels like, especially in the last, I don't know, decade, I guess, but especially last couple, couple years or whatever. It's like men and women. It feels like they have to be, it's like a tug of war type of thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, not necessarily. I think that you can definitely, there's nothing wrong. Like, I think men can be super, play their role and be who they are. And I think women can play their role and be who they are and still balance each other out, And so, yeah. Yeah.
And I think logic is often thrown out the door by both parties when there's a failure to communicate because then you guys get into it in an emotional situation, no matter who became emotional over the situation, and then you both start to go down a slippery slope.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
That energy feeding
I
off
agree with
each
that.
other, and Summer, I agree. And I think everybody's got too caught up in these fucking gender roles on top of it too, and like trying to classify it. It's like, dude, right? People get like, I don't want to say men serve the purpose, right, and end all be all, or like women can't, I guess, serve a pants quote wearing role in the relationship or like defending role, but the classification of gender is getting too fucking mixed up all the time now, and everybody's too worried about it. And either party that wants to act like, woman that wants to act more whatever, or man that wants to act more masculine, right? It's getting frowned upon acting, just acting in a complementary form to your relationship, right? Not saying it's your role to act like a woman or your role to act like a man,
I
but
think the
everybody's
best
so
ideal should
fired
always
up
win.
that people are, overly sensitive about and overly classifying the shit, right? Like it's some negative shit.
Like a lot.
Like it.
Here, look, can I give an example right quick? Like,
Yeah.
say, for instance, a man wants to have that role where he has the final say so, but that's not always necessarily the best route. Your woman might have an ideal she can share with you, and her ideal be the best ideal to go with. Like, as the man, you're like, okay, I'm the one out here making the finances. If you're living that, what do they call it, traditional thing where she's staying home taking care of the kids or whatever and making whatever free time money she can, and like whether it be doing something like telemarketing on the weekends or working a weekend job, and she's not really paying the majority of the bills, so you decide as the traditional and fall in this category stuff like you're saying, instead of complimenting each other's strengths and weaknesses. You're like, well, babe, we can't afford this or that. And she might, if you just take your time and not think about that finance, she could have a reason why you should put the finance out on that because she knows how it can save money in the long run and free up a lot of wasted space on spending.
And Exxon, you bring up a good point, and kind of something that I want to slide into. As and we kind of touched on it a little bit now, but like sometimes I feel like that in men and women, right? Like you said, that gender role, even in my like, I do a lot of community work and stuff like that. But technically, like, and yeah, I work 2 days a week, normally like not a big deal, right? And that helps me get gas money for the stuff that I want to do or whatever, right? On helping and different things like that. But like technically, I mean, I've stayed at home, took care of the kids for a while, and sometimes I'll hear men, especially online, and it seems like that they're always just like they don't want to have conversations, or they feel like they don't have to have conversations with their significant other. And they're like, "Well, I make the decisions, and she's going to listen to what I say, and that's just how it's going to go down." And then, or if she's a strong woman, then I'm going to make her submit to me and all this other stuff. And it's just like, to me, I feel like you said, I think it's good to have communication, right? When you're sitting here talking to the person that you're doing life with, whether it be your girlfriend, you're married, whatever, legally do they want to label you, but it's the person you're doing your life with. I think it's okay I think it's necessary to check in with each other and go over bills or decisions, and they could even major decisions. I think that both people should have input. Now, whoever say, like, I come to my husband with a big decision, or he comes to me with a big decision, at the end of the day, I'm going to make the final decision, or he's going to make the final decision, right? But like, I think it's good to be able to have each other's inputs on that. Why do you feel like so many, when you hear, I don't know if you guys hear the same thing that I hear sometimes on the internet, but why do you all think that men act like feel like that they don't have to have, it's not beneficial to them to have conversations with women, and vice versa?
I don't know about the not beneficial, but I want to say in the sense of speaking as a man coming out of a relationship, right, and she was not necessarily the financier, but the finance dominant one in the sense of good with money. I could be making more money. She was the controller of money, right? I had to go through her in my, previous relationship, which is fine, right? I'm terrible with money, right? Cool, I fully submitted to that shit. But it's not that I didn't want to talk or have the fuck. Well, a lot of times I really didn't want to have the fucking conversation about it because I'm just fucking tired of it. But it's the use of power and the use of finance, and that goes to both sides though, and it makes you feel some kind of way when one side is overly, and this is finance specific dictating, just because finance was stated just a second ago. But when somebody who is in full power of the finance dictates and assumes that they have all power in the decision making process, or even though, right, which is kind of the guy thing, right? Right. This is if the woman's not happy, right? The woman's the final say, right? Ask any guy, right? Happy wife, happy life type shit that's the general stereotype of it, right? It sucks. You feel completely powerless. You feel like your opinion doesn't matter, and the end all be all is controlled by one person, and your input doesn't fucking matter. And in that kind of relationship, why does anybody want to be in that? Even if the guy's doing that to the girl, right? And right, but again, the common stereotype: happy wife, happy life. Wife is the end all decision making, regardless if wife's bringing in the money or not. Right? Wife is guy has to get approval to buy a new truck through wife. Right? Wife isn't the financier. Wife don't make the money. Wife ain't even co-signing. Right? But man
Yeah,
has to
but
go to woman.
in
I'm just using that
in
as an example.
right, and then and I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I want to interrupt you because I want to participate in your conversation. So let me just ask you this question. So like, for like in our household, like, if somebody, like, if we were going to go buy a new car or something like that, we'd probably have a little bit of a conversation. Not, but still go buy the car. But just have a logic conversation like, hey, can we fit this in our budget? Insurance, will it change? Will this change? Da 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 da. But like anything outside of a big buy or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we'll say something about it, but like it ain't that big of a issue,
Yeah.
right? Like, we have our money together, and then we have our money that he can do his money with, and I can do my money with, just to cover basic shit, just your everyday little shit, nothing
Yeah.
big. So where was I going with this? Sorry, I got caught up in
Oh, you
the
good.
world. Um, So when
Uh-oh.
Summers, you cut out. Heads up.
Yeah.
my bad, keep myself out. I like finance is a big thing in relationships and can be the end to a lot of relationships that end and marriages that end have to do with financial stuff. So let me ask you this: did when you guys got together, and even though for whatever reason, I'm assuming maybe she made more money or whatever, but is that when you all had the conversation, like, okay, you're going to cover budgeting and different things, like, did y'all have that conversation, or
No.
it was just, oh, you just make more money, so or you're the overseer?
Oh no. She was 100% way better with money than I am. Right? I'm a fucking idiot.
Okay.
I'm terrible at fucking money. She's better at budgeting and shit like that. But it's to the point. Well, or rather, not most relation. Well, I would assume that actually probably. I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever. So it just gets to the point though where it's like, all right, you feel like you have zero say in anything, right? Like, let's order dinner, or well, where do you want to get dinner from? And then you, as the powerless one, give a suggestion that gets shot down, and then it's the all right. Well, I'm paying now, even though she's not paying. It's a joint bank account, right?
Right. Have
Joint
you
bank.
guys, have you
But
ever in any of your relationships, have you ever sat down and like
I haven't gotten that.
made certain roles to where and certain boundaries, maybe, like, even though
Haven't.
you're bad with money, and I get that, right? Because I mean, I'm learning to be better with money, right? Because I've always dealt with cash, so I was kind of really bad at money when we first got together. Now I've gotten a lot better at budgeting and different things like that. But I guess my point being is maybe to make you feel like you have a voice in some things, because this is the same thing I would tell men or women, because I hear women say actually a lot what you're saying right now. They're in the situation to where, they don't feel like they have a voice when it comes to money and da 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 da. And what I always suggest to them is, set those boundaries in the beginning of your relationship. That way you can always be heard. Because just because somebody makes more money, I think when you're in a unit situation, you probably, should both have a voice in that, and feel like you have a voice in that, if that makes
I,
sense.
I agree with you, right? But you know, when you're starting with a relationship, right, and you're early in, I mean, even whatever, right? So we were 13 years together. Uh, Even a few years in, right? Like, who's having that conversation, right? Realistically, who's sitting down and having that conversation like that, right? Like
I did.
the
Because
automatic.
we're not kids, but you're not kids anymore, though. It's cool when you're like
True.
19, 20, even your early
Yeah.
30s, but like when you start becoming an adult, you want to like have things that you can grow, and you want to make sure the person that's with you has got the same mindset. I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake, as they don't have these conversations in the beginning. And me and Bronze has talked
Uh,
about this before.
and in future relationships, if I ever have one, absolutely, shit like that'll be a conversation. Again, my 13-year was,
Okay.
or actually, shit, yeah, it was 2020. She was fucking 18, right? Like, we're together for 13 fucking years, or
Right.
maybe it's 21. Either way.
Uh,
So,
J1 says he has
it's
a question.
a little different. Ask it.
Oh, okay. All right. Sarah, you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I have a
Yeah.
coworker who said he has two accounts, right? Two bank accounts, right? He has a joint account with his wife, and then he has
No,
another account that she doesn't know about
talk
because
about
he
me.
wants to treat himself. Is that okay?
Oh,
I don't think that you should keep things from people. I'm not one that does that. You know what I mean?
I
I
agree.
think that I think communication is everything. And then again, just like I was telling him, like, I think that, if you want to go out and, I mean, if they're married or whatever, they're together, then yeah, big purchases. Yeah, you can have discussions over that. But I think everyday little shit, just where he wants to treat himself and stuff. I mean, if you can't go spend $50 on yourself, then I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, if he's to have a separate bank account, I think that separate bank account should be a separate bank account for both of them. You know, just
Yeah,
like the joint account. Joint account is where we're pulling money for bills, everyday
right.
needs, the necessities and
Yeah.
stuff to survive. And that separate account should be for you guys to have your pleasures and enjoyments. And, you know, that should be definitely a discussion. You know, should we pull money out for you to get this that you want? Should I pull out money of this? You know, is this okay if I pull this out to get this for myself? So both of you are both equally treated fairly and both get to enjoy the finer things in life out of that secondary account.
I don't know if I have a different, like, old or newer, whatever viewpoint on it, but I truly, if you're, but especially married, right? I mean, it might be long time dating, and then maybe yes, no, whatever, but at least when you're married, when everything, your life is intertwined, right? I don't believe in separate bank account, separate finance at all, right?
I don't,
I
me
think
personally,
everything should be intertwined completely
I
because your
don't.
lives are fully intertwined at that point.
Well, you're still, but see, this is the mistake that people do in relationships. They intertwine so much that they forget who they are, right? And so there's nothing wrong with still being, like me and my husband. He has his money, and he'll buy his own shit that he does things with. You know what I mean? And then there's times that, like, I'm not gonna ask him to go get my nails done. I'm gonna go get my nails done. So and then and we're married. We've been married going, see, my anniversary is coming up next month. So we've been married 18, 19 years. So been together 18, or been married 18, been together 19. So my point being is, like, again, it's communication, right? I don't think that there's still, it's still okay to have, and I'm not talking about the independence like a single person would have. That's not what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
it is still okay, in my opinion, um, to still have your independence. You know what I mean? Because, like me and my husband was talking about the other day, like, one thing that we love about each other is, like, I have my shit that I do, and he has his shit that he does, and they're, completely separate from each other. You know what I mean? But, like, we can still come back and we can still talk about it. And not only that, but, like, we don't get bored with each other, because, and I ain't even talking about just sexually, because I mean, sex is cool, but, like, sex is, I mean, it's a huge part of something, but at the same time, I don't think it's a huge part of every single thing, right? I think being able to know that you're still a person, right? Like, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm all these things. But for me, the reason why I wanted a separate bank account, or not, have my own little bit of money, is because, like, I mean, when I want to go out and buy my husband something, I don't want him giving me the money for that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not living like I used to where I was like, okay, I always got to keep a backup plan, so I got to have money just in case some shit goes wrong. I don't live like that anymore. But now it's like, shit, if I want to buy my kids a present, if I want to pay a bill, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I want to feel like I'm bringing something to the table too.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, in my opinion, if you have the right communication, I don't have to, I mean, I'm still a human. I'm still a woman, right? And so, like, yeah, I'm a mother. Yeah, I'm a wife. Yeah, I'm a community activist, and I do all this other shit. But at the end of the day, I'm still a woman. And if
Mm.
I'm not okay with me, I can't be a wife and a mother and all these things. So I think sometimes when people say, like, intertwine every single little thing, I don't know. I think it's okay to have a little bit of your own identity. Ronsberg,
I
what do you
agree.
think, since you're new to the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, peace to all. I agree. I always say this in relationships. Boyfriend and girlfriends is a prelude for marriage. And also, with that being said, I always feel like if you in a relationship, regardless of y'all boyfriend and girlfriend or y'all wife and husband, you still gotta have your individual self. You feel me? So a lot of the times people be like, "Oh yeah, well, you know, this is just the shit that I hate about the dating world today." I'm just being perfectly honest. You'll have women that'll sit up there and say, and it's from a man's perspective, yeah, if it's my man, he need to pay for my nails. He need to pay for my hair and blah blah blah. And I'd be like, but shorty, if you was doing that before you met dude, then what's the difference now? Because he's the
Right.
man. So you can't pay for the nails for yourself. You can't pay to get your hair done. Your man got to do it all the time. All right, so if we going to go off that and you going to pay for your man's haircut,
Her money goes.
Like, are you gonna do
Right.
that? You know what I'm saying? And it
I
just be
do.
like it's a one-sided thing that I be hearing. And I be like, yo, this is why I get really annoyed.
Get done.
Hold on, Isaiah. You gotta let him talk, babe.
Uh,
He's just got
this-
to the panel.
This is why I'm saying this is why I get very annoyed, because I don't get it. It's a one-sided thing. You'll sit up there and say, oh, well, you know, I can do everything myself. But then when I hear you talk about when you're wanting a relationship, then you'll sit up there and say, yeah, that man, he got to pay for everything and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, but then that means that if you know it's a relationship, then you should be willing to pay for his stuff too. And if I was married, right, I want my wife to still be herself. You know what I'm saying? I still want her to be able to, you know, because the thing about it is when you get married, of course, it's that contract, it's that paper, it's a partnership, blah, blah, blah. But the thing about it is in a marriage, we still have to be able to be ourselves and be able to just roll around, even in a relationship. Like I said, be ourselves. Like, I'm not going to take it away from my woman. I chose her. So I'm not expecting her to change completely. Now, imagine I get me a quote unquote ratchet girl and I marry her. How can I really be mad still at my girl if she's going to do what the hell she want to do? And she would be noted as a quote unquote ratchet. I married her. So at the end of the day, I understood her actions when I got with her. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So you can't
Sorry.
be like that. Is all I'm saying. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I agree. KS, would you like to say anything?
Like with the whole relationship stuff, right? And finances and all that. I think a lot of people are still stuck in the old ways. When you get married, the wife must submit to the husband. But the way I read the Bible, it contradicts itself, though, at the same time when it says that. Because when you get married and take the vow between God, it says two become one in the same. So, in my opinion, that means you should sit there and have conversations. You're both equal in that relationship. So why should the wife have to submit to the husband?
Me and my wife
Well,
was
I'm
having
gonna
that
get into-
conversation earlier
I want to
today.
get into the submissive. Hold on one second. I want to get into the submissive conversation in just a few minutes, because I think that's a big part of relationship conversation. But I get what you're saying. I think communication definitely is key on everything. Wade, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I agree. Communication is very important. I think both the man and the woman both should submit to each other. It's not just a one-sided thing where it's like, oh, well, the woman needs to submit to the man and, you know, the man doesn't have to submit to the woman, which, I mean, doesn't make any sense. But, like, I'm just all for it. It needs to be 50-50.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
J1, go ahead. I see you have mute, and then I'm going to go to Excel. Go ahead.
What's wrong with a husband having a secret bank account? Just in case, you know, things don't go right, you know.
Because
nothing
nothing should be secret.
I think if you have to keep anything secret, you shouldn't be with the person. If you're planning an exit already, you don't need to be with that person.
Yeah, because you already got doubts in that relationship right there.
Yeah, 100%.
So just in case, right? Prepare.
Well, now J1, you need to listen because last time I checked, you don't do relationships, so maybe learn some things. And that's not it. That's not the way you do it. When I have somebody like if I'm dealing with a DV situation, right, and they need to escape from a very toxic marriage, then yes, if they can hide money or something like that, 100%. But outside of that, I do not think that anybody should be hiding anything from the person that they're with. I think that if you have to hide money from the person that you're with, again, you're not with the right person.
Yeah, because when I was saying separate bank accounts, I meant you got your main bank account that takes care of the household and everything. That separate one is separate from your main. But that means you and her know about it. You and her can access it. But I feel like it shouldn't be accessed without communication that, hey, babe, I'm going to take this for this. Okay, go ahead. Now I know, I got to throw a little more in there to make sure, it's still there. If you got a chance, you could throw a little more in there too to make sure it's still there and it's still building. So this is something that we can have our pleasures with. And if something goes wrong with this main account, we got a backup to cover us on anything that we didn't foresee coming, like say a vehicle issue or something that's like going out, or an appliance going out, or say the sewage pipe busted, you gotta pay 10 grand for somebody to come in with a backhoe, dig it up and repair that. It should be something you both are aware of. Because if you're in a situation like that, you gotta have something separate for an escape. That already means there's obviously something unsure of in that relationship that y'all shouldn't be sharing responsibilities and living together at that point in time anyway. You should only be together like that once you know and feel that you guys are secure with each other. Other than that, you can be
Yeah.
doing a dating thing. You got your place, she's got her place, and y'all are working towards coming together. But once you're together, you should already have this figured out. I mean, me and my wife got together before we had it figured out. I back in the day, and this is why I think the whole pants argument should be thrown out the window completely. Because this whole pants thing that we was brought and taught and raised up is usually based off finance, and it's whoever brings in the most finances wears the pants in the house. They are the final say so. As a matter of fact, in most cases, they are the say so on everything that moves. Well, this is kind of like a captain of a ship. A captain of a ship is at the helm steering the ship. But this is not the place of the captain to ignore the person that's looking off of the side of the ship to make sure that everything's okay. Because if your partner comes in, your co-captain or whatever comes in, you're like, there's an iceberg ahead, and you're got that attitude like, oh, I'm the captain of the ship. I know what I'm doing. You could steer straight towards that iceberg, and everybody goes down with the ship, not just the captain.
Yep. And J1 and and then theirs. So that he was talking about how they have their joint bank account, then they have their joint bank account, but their play bank account, right? So me and my husband, we have our bank account that takes care of all the bills and all that good shit. And then he has some money and I have some money. You know what I mean? So it just depends at what it works for each person, right? But I'll say this. However you do it, it's gotta be communication. If you're hiding stuff, because if I found out my husband was hiding a whole bank account because he felt like he couldn't spend money around me,
We're
or I
gonna
would feel
raise
like, one, you
all
don't
kinds of
trust me.
questions.
Yeah, you don't trust me. Are you saving money for another
Side chick,
female? Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, my mind's gonna. So no, I don't think that J1 at all. That this, like, your friend that has two bank accounts and one his wife doesn't know about. I mean, if it was me, I would be very highly pissed. After
There's
20
a
years, you're gonna tell me you're
Yeah.
gonna hide a bank account from me? So what are you having, an affair? Like, what you got, a kid I don't know about? Like, what you doing?
there's all
You
kinds of
understand?
questions that can arise out of that can create insecurities. And once you got insecurities in the relationship, you got a problem in the relationship. Now this problem needs to be figured out. And now this separate bank account that she don't know about or he don't know about and they found out about is going to create problems in that relationship. Now this relationship ain't working towards becoming closer. You're tearing each other apart from one another.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
this-
Oh, wait. I'm about signing a nuptial agreement. Am I saying that right?
Do
Nuptial?
what?
What's that agreement that you sign? Like, if you get a
Oh, the
divorce,
prenup?
you don't have to give
A
money
a
to your
prenup.
partner.
I don't believe in
Yeah.
prenup. Some people do. I don't. It's just like the secret bank account. I do not believe in planning for something to end. I believe that you speak life and death over every single thing you have come in contact with. So why am I going to speak death over my marriage before it even starts? Now, I understand why some people, plus me and my husband ain't got shit. Now, I can understand if he was a multimillionaire or I was a multimillionaire or whatever, but even then, I'll be honest with you, I still wouldn't do it, because if I'm marrying you, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And if
That's
I
just, I don't
truly
believe in
love
prenup.
you, and if I truly love you and I'm in a better position than you when we get together and I love you, I'm working on bringing you to my level. And if you love me and you're doing better
Right.
than me, you're going to work towards bringing me on your level. So a prenup shouldn't even be an option, because if things don't work out, You should still care about each other because of that bond that you had. That if you have to separate, you want the other one, even if you can't be with them, to be doing good also and be able to survive also.
Yeah, but
Uh,
even
Yeah,
with a
it's tough.
prenup, they're technically unenforceable. Like NDAs are unenforceable if one or the other parties does something to break it.
Well, yeah, if it's in their clause, it just depends on how each prenup is set up. All prenups can be different. You know what I mean? So there could be different leads in the prenup that says if you do this, or whatever. For me though, I just feel like it's a setup.
maybe it's just me.
If we get,
My
go
fault.
ahead.
I was gonna say maybe it's just
No,
me,
you're good.
but I think the way that I see relationships is more abstract than other people see it. Because I feel like yes, money is very important in a relationship because obviously we live in a capitalist society. But if we took
Mhm.
all that away, like how would men and women really bond with each other? You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is, it gets to a point where it's like, what about the like? I hate the concept from what I view is, I hear a lot of people who say, and usually it's like millennials and Gen Z that are saying, "Oh, I don't want to deal with no struggle love. I don't want to deal with no struggle this, no struggle that." But it's like, okay, but if you had a man or a woman that's very consistent about their shit, right? Maybe they don't have a job right now because they're pursuing what they really love and what the Most High gave them. Or let's talk about the men, because I usually hear hatred on the men's side. I'm just being real. The man, he don't got a job, right? He don't got no job, but he's really working towards something, and he's really putting in applications every single day. But he'll show up for that woman he's really interested in and say, I really like this woman. I'm really interested in this woman. I want to show that I care about my actions. If the woman is complaining, oh, I don't want to deal with struggle love, and this man is putting forth an effort to care about you, why wouldn't you want to deal with him? You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And the thing about it is like I get so annoyed because it's like, yo, we have on the one hand, you have women that'll sit up there and say, yo, if this man don't got no money, I don't like dealing with broke dudes. I don't want no money. I don't want no money. But then there's certain girls that'll sit up there and sign up for a sugar daddy. So that means that you dependent on a man for money anyway. So what are you talking about? Right? And then on the men's side, I think, because I think there has become dating fatigue in this culture where you have men that's just like, yo, the only thing a woman cares about with me is how much money I have. They don't care about my emotions. What if I'm depressed? What if I'm going through shit? What if the job that I'm working with is giving me a lot of problems, but I make a lot of good money there? Who's there for me psychologically? Who's there for me emotionally? Is a woman going to be there, or is that I'm gonna have to see a therapist, or worse, take drugs, or do stuff on my own to feel better? Like the whole point is in a relationship or dealing with somebody, you still supposed to be that person's peace. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If we take it to the basic level, but it just seems like on a side, women of today, I ain't saying all women, but women of today that I've seen that talk a lot of shit on social media. Their whole entire thing is, well, if he ain't broke, he ain't got no money, then I don't want him. But you big up celebrities that literally was washing up in bathrooms, right? And entrepreneurs that probably was on drugs before they got to where they were. Would you shit on them when they was back then? You would, but then because they made what they made, that's the reason you cared. And then with men, it just seems like we just scared to date because we don't want to feel like we don't have enough. Oh, because I don't work in a 6-figure job or company, no girl would want me. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Because then you have girls out here that'll fuck some guy that's a low life degenerate and don't care about moving his life together.
Exactly.
So it's just a catch-22.
Well, let me
Why are you talking about my life right now? Shut the fuck
let me ask you something. It's just a question. Since I'm dealing with fellas and it's just me and all the fellas, ladies, where the fuck you at? All right, let me ask you this to what you were talking about, Bronzeberg, because I see that as an issue. Right. I see that as an issue as well. Like when me and my husband got together, literally, my husband had like got out of the game and everything. Like he turned his whole life around, right? Like he was like, I'm gonna be a father. He was completely single. He was, into his spirituality shit, like all that shit, right? So he didn't really have any money. Like when I met with him, he had a van with a headlight that was hanging out. He had the driver and passenger seat in the seats, and then there was nothing in the back. A matter of fact, we was out riding around, and the kids were in the back. The kids were in the back. We were going to get ice cream or some shit, and I was like, "You're speeding. We're about to get pulled over." And I ended up getting pulled over. And it was funny because when I got with my husband, some people in his family was like, "Oh, she's a gold digger. Just look at her. She looks like a gold digger. You're only with him because of money." And I was like, "Bitch, what money? Like, if you not talk to your brother in a while, this motherfucker ain't got no goddamn money. The fuck you know about? Like, I'm the one that has the money right now. You know, now, my husband worked. He worked his fucking ass off. My husband's always been a hell of a fucking worker. That man will work. He is literally the most, and I'm not saying this just because he's my husband. This man will work 18 hours a day. Like, no bullshit aside. Now, one thing, because I do see, and you know, I ain't gonna lie, you know, I've had those periods of my life where I was like, man, fuck you. If you ain't got no bread, I ain't trying to talk to you because I ain't really want nothing with substance. So I dealt with, and they didn't come with substance. They wasn't like trying to, what was the old word everybody used to court, right? You know, like the dating, a lot of guys when they, you know, they want to throw a bunch of money instead of just going, okay, hey, what about a picnic, or what about, you know what I'm saying, just something that's like really dope. And maybe thinking outside the box. You ain't gotta do something extravagant and buy a bitch a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can do, what's up, Chris? You could do simple shit. And guys used to do simple shit, you know, and that simple shit actually made a difference. You know what I mean? So I guess my question is, do you, and because I have two parts of this, but I'm gonna get to the female aspect and after this. But let's get to do you all think that men have gotten so acceptable and thinks it's just easier to throw money at situations and females to keep them happy or whatever? Because I do believe that, you know, females have been doing that, and I get that. But I also think that men have helped created that atmosphere just as much. So what do y'all say to that?
I think if a situation happens and the money dries up, you might find yourself in a sticky situation because you can't provide what that relationship is built on, if that's what the relationship was built on.
So then why don't men do things like they used to, like the simple stuff to meet a woman? Thank you. I got a lady finally. Becky. Well, thank you, girl. My girl said, I ain't going to leave you up here. Hold on, fellas. I ain't going to leave you up here. Don't get me wrong. My brothers is being amazing, and these guys are amazing.
I needed a lady's opinion. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been listening.
Opinion besides just mine.
No, I've been listening.
I guess what I'm asking is, like, you know, sorry, fellas, but it just seems like, you know what I mean? Because not only do men compete with other men and their ego, like, I gotta have the nicest car, I gotta have the biggest bag, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, my bitch gotta be bad, and da 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 da, right? And I need people to see me that I'm giving my broad money. So it's like, it's almost like motherfuckers intentionally pick people like that. So y'all think it's easier doing it like that, or like courting a chick, like actually taking her on a date, actually getting to know her, not just trying to fuck? You know what I mean? Like, put some substance in her.
That's a type of dude, though, right? Like, that's just like the stereotypical, like, fucking bro. That's, yeah, throw the money at her.
That's a lot of men,
bad bitch, bad. It's not, though. Like, a
It
lot
is,
of us
though.
are just
I mean,
the
we're
working
Becky.
class motherfuckers
Yes.
that want to go to a bar or do whatever, pick up a chick, have a nice, you know.
One second, now we got a new person. I just want to make sure they're good.
I'm good.
Gonna
Can you
go.
hear me okay?
Why do you gotta go to
What's up,
a
baby?
bar?
Good. Thank you,
Why?
Jesus. I got my girls pulling up. Thank you, sis.
There go the ladies.
I'm like, let's get the battle of the
Ladies.
sexes, baby. Because the next topic I bring up, y'all gonna be like, oh shit. All right, go ahead, Isaiah. My bad. I'm excited now.
Not necessarily bar, just wherever the fuck, wherever you meet a chick at, like, just not a bad bitch, fucking just nice interaction. I think you were alluding to, right, like, not doing picnics, not doing the nice shit, quote, trying type shit. It's because everything we see as men, you know, it looks like we're, you know, simps, for lack of a better word.
Number one.
if
I'm
we
sorry.
do
Let me
that
interrupt you.
shit.
Speak for yourself, okay?
All right, look. I'm
Mr.
just saying
Isaiah?
that's what it feels like, though, right?
Mr.
And
Isaiah? Hi.
Okay, hold on one second. Alyssa, hold on one second. Gotta let him finish his thing. Go ahead. Hurry up. Land your plane, baby.
all right,
Because you
yeah,
be
so,
driving
you
the
know,
planes all
again,
around the city.
it seems very, at least from a guy, if you you get turned down by a chick because again you're not throwing money, because you're trying to do it how you would say, the trying, the picnic, the whatever, nice whatever, nice shit, right? Seems like it comes off super simpish. You're not throwing money. You're not trying to impress. You're not trying
But
to
if
go
you're
over the
only in
top,
if
right?
you're only trying to get her, if you're only, this is where I'm talking about the ego thing coming in at, right? Because if you're only trying to make her it matter to her, then who do you give a fuck if somebody thinks you a simp?
But that's the flip side, is right. Again, when you're the women, right, while you're doing those things, trying to be nice, trying to set up a picnic, women are making you feel like a simp, right? Even the one you're pursuing is, makes you feel like a simp because you're not just throwing money, buying nice shit,
Man,
buying a nice
All right, let
handbag,
me let Alyssa
trying to
bring it in.
impress, right?
I have
Let
so
me
many
bring Alyssa
clarifying
in. Go ahead.
questions.
Well, this is just answering right now because what I was asking the guys is
Hmm.
why does it they feel like, because they complain about girls being gold diggers and shit, right? And this is also, I'll go ahead and say this now that I have some people up here. Okay, so my next little thing, and it still leads into this, but it's like,
Hmm.
okay, men bitch and complain like women are over sexualized. They dress too much. They do this. They do that. Or women just want money. Woo 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 woo. And I
Hmm.
feel like men complain about this, but they don't really realize how much they play in a part of creating that environment.
Absolutely.
How? Wait,
Um,
hold on. I'm sorry.
May
Yeah.
I
That
say?
just
Oh,
threw me
go
for
ahead.
a loop.
Yeah.
hold
Hold
on.
on, hold
How did
on.
that throw you for a loop? I'll
Hold
tell
on.
you.
Because it's
Wait,
like,
hold
Okay,
on,
you
little
know
bro.
how men,
okay, my
Wait,
fault.
hold
do you
on,
know
little
how
bro.
men,
I got
do
this.
you know how men, do you know how men feel like they're the good guys and they always get overlooked, right? Because the bad boys are the ones that are, doing their thing. Well, same thing goes in reverse. If a woman is actually doing her shit and handling her fucking business and taking care of everything the way she's supposed to and being a woman with class and all of that, oh, everybody and their daddy look past her.
Uh-uh.
Nah.
No.
I mean,
No,
but
hold on,
that's then.
Bronze. Bronze, hold up, hold up.
All right,
Let me
but
elaborate on what sis is talking about
I know what she's
because
talking
she's
about.
not
But
wrong.
you give me your opinion. I'm gonna go
No,
after
no, no,
you.
no. You're right. You're right. Hold on. You're right. It is our opinion, but let me go ahead and elaborate a little bit from a slightly different perspective, right? Everybody say they want the good girl, but whenever whenever we up here growing up, who's the one to get all the play? The hoes. Who's the one
Yep.
that's sitting there getting all the attention? The hoes, the bitches that be for the streets, the bitches that sitting there and giving up more ass than a little bit, the bitches that man motherfucking pussy so wide that even dudes and bitches both sitting there talk about choo choo. We know who they are. We ain't gotta name them. Hell, half of them we don't even know their real name. They got nicknames. Come on now.
Well,
I'm
So,
gonna
so
say,
I'm just hold on. I'm just sitting there saying that like that at first, right? But I usually hear, and this is growing up, right? That men always want
Guys,
a
I'm just
woman
gonna
to
mute
settle
you.
down with,
Oh
to
no, you already
marry
did.
and
Okay,
all
never
that
mind.
shit,
My bad.
right? But at the end of the day, they decide they want to sit there and try to smash everything but a goddamn dog because that motherfucker got 4 legs instead of 2. Depending on the guy, I said what I said. Depending on the guy, because some of them even go for a goddamn dog nowadays. But they sitting there trying to fuck everything until they get to a certain age, or until they literally have enough rejection, or until they decide that they ain't attractive no more, or until they decide that shit, I might not be able to get as much coochie as I could whenever I was younger. So now let me settle down with this bitch, and then with this bitch, I want her to have minimal bodies. I want her to be a freak, but I don't want her to be a hoe. I want her to do hoe trips, but I don't want her to be a hoe.
All right,
I
I'm gonna
want
let
her to
Bronze
be.
Chris.
Burt
No, that's not
land your.
me. That's Chris.
Go ahead. Oh,
Oh,
Chris, go ahead,
my
Chris.
fault. No. I thought she
No,
was
go ahead,
talking
go ahead,
about
go
the
ahead.
Uh,
muting thing. All right, so
and then I'll let
in,
Chris go.
in response to that,
Uh-huh.
it definitely is true. You have a lot of men out there that want hoes, right? This is why I try my best to not generalize it. I can only speak from experience. There's a lot of good girls that I know right now, and there's a lot of girls that I know that I definitely am interested in dating as the quote unquote good girls, right? We can talk about the perspective from good guys to good girls. You feel me? I ain't never try to pass up on no girl. If I pass up on a girl, I just was not interested. And it was by vibes. You feel me? Now, I'm not going to lie. Yes, I need me a lady in the streets and a freak in the street sheets. because I'm a damn freak myself. Y'all hear
Look,
me on
bro,
every
do
panel
you
call
want a
myself a
hoe or
whore.
not?
Hold on. Yeah, I call myself a whore, and I stand by that. I'm a whore. So my rules is my rules. You understand? But I'm not slinging no community dick. So going back to what we talking about, this is what annoys the shit out of me about certain women, even good girls that I've sat there and I bumped into. They sit here and they have this conversation. They still bring up finances or talk about I need to have a real date with a man. You know what the fuck a real date to them is? A goddamn restaurant. You know how annoying that shit is to me? I had the privilege of taking a girl out on a date, and she sat there and said, "Oh, why you didn't take me out to eat though?" Never once when we was on a date did she ever sit up there and I asked her, "Is she hungry? Does she want to get something to eat?" She ain't never say shit. She sat up there and enjoyed the date and she had fun. So my thing about it is, you got these women that sometimes don't even know. No, not even sometimes. A good majority of these women that don't know what they want, and then sit up there and get mad at you if you decide to do a detour and decide to show them different.
Okay,
I'm gonna be honest with you, and maybe this is me. Hold on.
Hold
Let me
on,
finish. Let me land my
let him
plane.
finish. You gotta let him finish.
I'm gonna land my plane. I'm gonna land my plane real quick. So my thing about it is the conversations I hear, they ready to off a man if he doesn't do the traditional thing of taking that woman out to a date to a restaurant. Get the fuck out of here. It's 2026. I want to take you to something different. I don't want to watch you chewing food and then I gotta pay the goddamn bill and then that's it. No kiss, hugs, and none of that shit.
All right,
No.
well, here, let me explain why. Okay, so this actually this is no bullshit aside, right? All joking aside, right? I'm about to actually explain why, and that's actually going to tie into what Summer was saying. So whenever we're sitting here and talking about, even the different ideologies as far as the way men view women and women view men, and then even women view women and men view men, a lot of that is societal brainwashing, if you will, right? It is social constructs, because the main reason that we even have the conversation of a woman requiring a date was it was supposed to be a way for you to be able to see how comfortable you would be able to be with the financial standards of that man, because at one point in time, a woman wasn't even able to be able to have bank accounts, be able to get houses, be able to have, get work and this and that and the third, right? So because of that, their livelihood depended on either that man's income or the dowry that they usually got from their parents whenever they were passed off as a fucking gift, or I'm sorry, not a gift, but on a contractual agreement. So
Right.
that is a heavy standard that is still established in today. Now that kind of also plays into whenever we're talking about ego, right? Why a lot of men are referred to as simps, specifically around financially tending to their significant other, is because at one point in time, the biggest and the easiest way to show that you have love and appreciation for your partner was financially. It wasn't just building her a house, which was a form of protection. It wasn't just, getting her a car, which was a form of, transportation. And once again, that kind of goes to providing, protecting, which even socially, people will sit there and hear that being said as far as descriptions of what a man is supposed to do, aka their jobs, right? A woman is supposed to bear children, bear your lineage, but a man is supposed to protect and provide, right? So it actually plays into a lot of that shit. So that's why you hear a lot of women. Oh, you want me to stop, Summer? Oh, okay.
May I add something?
No, you're
to
good.
that when you're done?
I was gonna let Becky say so. I just want to give everybody turns. That's all. Go ahead, Becky.
Well, this is the issue, I think, with many relationships, is that the person does not know what the person wants. So when you're out there and you're looking for, I'll tell you guys about me. By the time I knew my husband for a very long time, kind of went our separate ways. By the time we got back, by the time we got together, I already owned a home, had a car. My son was ready to go to college. That 18 years I stood by myself because I didn't want anybody coming in and putting hands on my son because I was going to go to jail for a fact. Now, a lot of our issues with the opposite sex or whatever, with the relationship is that we don't know what we want. We go around wanting everybody else to figure to know what we want when we don't even know what we want. So a lot of the issues is that we're looking for that other person to make us happy, to fulfill us, instead of enhancing who we are. So I think that's a lot of the issues with that. One. Two, let's go to the financial stuff. By the time I was with my husband, like I said, I already owned my home. I already had everything in line. So when he would, in the beginning, would start with this little possessiveness, and you can't look at another man, and you can't, excuse me, wait a minute. I love you. I want to be with you, but I don't need to be with you. Financially, I'm okay. Now, that was in the beginning. Now let's go ahead and now what, 13, 14 years later, I was in a bad car accident. Guess what? Now I depend on him financially. But
Right.
at the end of the day, you know, he's going to do what's in our best interest for our family, for our benefit. I work one day out of the week. That's enough for me to pay half the mortgage, my car payment, and my car insurance.
Oh, girl, I need
Everything
that
else,
job for one day a week. Sorry, my
yeah,
bad.
I only work Saturdays. I have my own small business that, as a matter of fact, if it wasn't for my husband, I wouldn't even be able to do that. But you know, we're looking at each other. This is your partner. This is the person you love. Why are you looking at that person like, you know, he's your competition or she's your competition? And
I agree.
why not?
I want
Why
to.
not?
Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, look at, you know, if I make a decision, I'm thinking, you know, is this going to benefit both of us? I'm able to go and get my nails, my hair, my everything else done. But I also know that there's a one and a half income. So even though he gives me his whole paycheck, you know, he hands over his paycheck, that doesn't mean that I'm going to go and waste every little penny of that paycheck. No,
Right. I want to bring
we're
Chris
growing
in real
stuff.
quick. Becky,
Yes, go ahead.
sorry.
Yes. No, go ahead.
Chris, how are you doing, babe? What do you think?
I'm good. I'm eating right now, but I'm listening. Go ahead. You can go
Okay.
somebody else.
No, I hand over the floor or the panel.
All right, can
You're good.
I?
You're good. Wait, what do you? Let's see. Who else is up here? I want to make sure I've gotten everybody a chance to. Let me look this way on my damn phone.
Well, I want to answer the finances thrown
Excel. Yes.
around type
Excel. Go
thing.
ahead. Yes.
Okay, the initial question you was asking about men throwing money around to, like, you know, gain or keep a woman. I don't think that's the right approach. If I spend money on my woman, it's because I love my woman. I want to see her enjoy herself. That's why I will throw money in her direction. When it comes to the dating thing, I think that's a thing that kind of communication comes in, because when you're going to date out on a date with your woman, you want it to be something that both of you can enjoy, something that both y'all can spend time and build together. So, like for my wife, when I take her out, you know, if I want to watch a movie, I ask, "Hey, babe, is there any movies you want to watch?" If she don't want to watch a movie, I'm like, "Well, I want to go out on a date. What do you think? What ideas can you come up with?" And we go through the ideals till it's something we can both agree upon. Now, I think anytime you take a woman out on a date, you should have finances aside. And let's say if it's the woman paying, either one of y'all should have
I
finances
agree.
put aside for a meal also. Because you're about to be spending hours out. Both of y'all are going to get hungry. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Hungry can
true.
create cranky. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So there should be finances there for going out to eat before or after this date. That should just be included in a date. And sometimes, you know, a nice date could just be a restaurant, Bronzeberg, because you're the one that said you don't like to do that. That could be appeasing for both of y'all at the time. You might want to do something extra together too, but food should be included in that, bro. All right, I yield the floor.
Summer.
All right.
Hey, I
Yes.
got to be right back, honey. I got to be right back. I sat there and I came in and showed some love, but I got to go ahead and finish doing my testing and stuff like that because I got a future and it's already in my eyes, and that's where the fuck I'm going to go. And I have to sit there and, baby steps. So, love you.
That works. Thanks for stopping in.
Not a problem.
Love
right,
you,
babe.
babe. I'll see you here in a few.
I love you, baby. Look, I'll be right here in the room.
Okay, bye.
It's like if I gotta jump up, I'll jump back on. Let's see what else. Yes.
A date doesn't always have to mean expensive. If you're going out, I love going to the beach. Every Sunday we would head on over to the beach, have breakfast. He would do his jogging, working out, whatever. I would be reading a book because I'll be damned if I'm going to be doing any running. But it doesn't always have to include expensive restaurants, expensive whatever. It could be a corn dog down at the boardwalk.
I agree.
As long, my husband is not one to sit at restaurants for a very long time. I love to people watch. He's an introvert. I'm an extrovert. But we're going to both do something that we can agree on that's going to, and sometimes you have to give a little. Heck, I'm not into sports for nothing. This man watches every sport there is to watch. So I bought tickets for the Seahawks game. And we've gone to this. And do I like watching it? No, but I love to see how excited he gets. And, and he doesn't like going out and doing museums sometimes, but he knows I enjoy it. So let's go. And we're both trying something different.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to always be expensive.
It's compromising,
Yeah.
Yo, but something. I just want to say this. I'm sorry. This is probably Bronzeberg showing he's in his fifis due to social media.
Nope, get in him. I was just gonna ask you, what do you want to talk about, Bird?
Nah, I mean, it just pisses me off because I see things like women. Like I seen this woman on Instagram, and usually sometimes when you see stuff on social media, it's a parallel to real life, right? So
Right.
It was this woman that was on Instagram. Ironically, she lives in New York. She saved her grocery bills, or she saved bills by directly only going on dates with women and men at restaurants. And because she knew that they was going to pay for it, she kept doing it. And so why I bring this up is because the thing about it is, again, I'm probably one of those dudes that's showing fatigue. If it's the fact of the matter, you have a predatory mindset towards a man by sitting up there saying, oh yeah, you could take me out on a date, and the whole entire thing for a date with you is take me out to a restaurant so you can get a free meal because you know that I pay for it. That shit is fucked up. And I think that it's not just now, because I mean, I know pretty much women probably did that shit in the 80s and 90s, 2000s, whatever. But I think the problem that we have now is that you have a lot of men who's just tired, who's like, yo, I'm not about to be used, and everything about me is money, 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 money. And the thing about it is, why I get annoyed is because the thing about it is, I could really be bonding with a girl, right? I could be bonding, chilling, we hitting it off, we having a great conversation. But the thing in the back of their head, they feel like, oh, the only way to really get to know me is going out to a restaurant. I'm not cool with that. Because the thing about it with me is, I love traveling. I love going to museums. I like going to poetry places. I like going to, concerts and all that other stuff. I don't have a problem with paying for anything. I'm not a cheap person by all means. If I really like you, I'm gonna go all out for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? Here in New York, it's like to us, if you taking a train from one borough to another borough, that's a mission. You feel what I'm saying? So if I spend that time going out there, it's like I damn near took a flight underground.
Well, and bro, that's why I said earlier, like I wasn't even trying to be funny, but like sometimes I think men and not because we talk about women putting boundaries up, right? And we talk about that all the time, but I have 5 sons. So yes, I am team girl, but honey, I'm team boy too. You know what I mean? Like, so
sure.
I think that men most definitely need to make those boundaries. And like for me, like it just don't get me wrong. You know, like a motherfucker's gonna take me I've shopping, buy me car, all that shit. Yes, I've had all that. Like, and it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. You know what I mean? But like, so I think where they'll try to say, as far as sitting down in a restaurant, besides if they're not being scamming thirsty ass bitches, right? I would say that they would probably do that because it's like, okay, we're both sitting at the table, we have each other's undivided attention. There's not really a whole lot. We just kind of got to talk to each other. We got to be the entertainment for each other. And so it's like, okay, cool. All right. So that's why I said like a picnic or, you know what I mean? An ice cream or something like that. And bitches, if broads ain't trying to do shit like that, then like, they probably, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm with that. Like, like for me, a coffee shop. I'm sorry, someone, but like,
right, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that takes away from, because I get what you're saying about like me, I wasn't the type of chick that was like, oh, let's go out to eat. I'm like, okay, I'm a very active person. You know what I mean? Like, I like to have fun. I like to do shit. So even with me and my husband, I think the only thing that's ever really, I mean, finances, of course, that's a heart on everybody's relationship. Especially in the beginning. We're good now, but especially in the beginning when you're learning each other. But it was me, like, I don't know, dude. Like, I like simple, like, I like going to a walk, go get some ice cream or go get a Polish sausage or, you know what I'm saying, get some nachos and sit at the park and eat or have a little picnic. I love picnics, dude. I think picnics are, and you don't even have to have food. You can have wines, you can have, you know, and then you get to massage and you get that intimate conversation. That table's not in between you two, and it don't cost you a lot of fucking money. Because for me, like I taught my sons, don't be throwing a bunch of money at no broad until you know, like, there's something there. And also, if she's not bringing out her wallet and telling you, like, nah, baby, you ain't got to pay, I'll pay this time. Fuck that. You know, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm one, I love spoiling my husband. Like, and that's why I said, like, why I don't have an issue when it comes to finances. Actually, it was a big issue because I went through making all kinds of money. Then I stopped. I got out of the business, stopped selling drugs, all that shit. So then I was like, okay, culture flash. I'm fucking some bitches poor. But then it was like, wait a minute, I can't do nothing. I can't take, like, I would get mad at myself because I'd be frustrated because I'd be like, well, babe, I want to do something for you. And he's like, well, here's some money. And I'm like, well, I don't want to fucking you paying for what I'm taking you out. You know what I mean? So it makes me feel so good now when we go out or something. I'll be out of nowhere. I'll be like, I got this. I'm gonna pay for this. You know what I mean? Because I want to spoil him just like I want to be spoiled. I want it to be so, like, I don't know. Maybe don't jump the gun with broads so quick. You know, and if they're not willing to pick up a couple things, like, drop that bitch like a bad cigarette habit.
I wouldn't jump to.
And I'm not saying you're jumping the gun, and that might be the wrong word for it. But I'm just saying in general, like, if you don't see a female reciprocating, you know what I mean, and you know, and if. Yeah, because and that's a better word because I don't want to say jump the gun, but, like, you know what I'm saying, she's got to whatever that word is I just said. You know, she got to put
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Sorry, I don't know why I can't say that fucking word.
And after Chris asked his question, can I rewind back to a part of the stream of something that was said and get the gentleman's ideal and the lady's ideal on something that I heard that I kind of see as a red flag in relationships?
Sure. Go ahead, Chris.
I've been trying to make a point.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Kaz.
The reason a lot of this goes on is because, like, chivalry, communication, and camaraderie is either dead or it's dying because we live in social media and live in the fast lane, and nobody wants to take the time to slow back down.
A lot of chivalry is looked at as misogyny nowadays as well, though.
Truth.
Nope. Yep. That was the word I was looking for when I was saying courting. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, Shivery, open it. Like, I love when my husband opens the door. Let me tell you something. This is something we can, I don't mean to, sorry, Chaos, but I can't stand, like, I'm a very strong woman. Y'all know me. Everyone knows me. I'm a strong fucking woman. But I am also, listen, there's nothing more than I love better than anything in this world. And this is why I'm still married to my husband to this day. When I walk through my door or I'm in the presence of my husband, I don't have to be strong. I can be this
Vulnerable.
gullible,
Yes.
goofy, silly little, chick that just balls up in this big old man's arms, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I just like being dorky, and he sees sides of me that not everybody gets to see, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think chivalry is a beautiful thing. When my husband opens the door for me, and it does not, to the women that are listening or will listen to this, I'm a strong fucking broad, and I promise you, it does not make you weak or less than. Just because when your husband, and that's one thing, ladies, we got to get better at this. And I think this is where maybe Brosford was talking, maybe in some sense. When men have tried, we smack their hands away, and then we want to bitch. Well, it's not done this way, it's not done that way. Compromising is everything, and if they're trying, see that. Because if you can't see that, don't expect them to see you. And that's just the way I see that. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Because, like, my husband, talking about finances and stuff, like I said, when we first got together, he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't rolling in the dough. And my husband used to be one of the biggest fucking boys on the street. So he always had money. So for him making that transition out and turning his life around, but I wouldn't switch it for nothing because I have my husband. I don't have somebody that I have to worry about selling drugs and running from the police is gonna get shot or gonna get our house robbed or any of that shit. I ain't gotta worry about nothing. I got a safety and security that no person in this world's been able to give me because that's the life I've always lived. So women, it is okay to sit here and allow men to do nice things for you. And if you sit here and you start expecting them to do a bunch of shit, guys, bounce. Period.
And on the other side of that, it's okay for us to tend to our men. I know that, oh my
100%.
God, you have a traditional role. So I love to cook. My husband loves my cooking. I love to cook. I love to serve him his meal and set up his plate, and we sit down and we eat together. And guess what?
He gets up, shower and everything, baby. Like, I rub his feet. You hear what I'm telling you? I love that big motherfucker.
And they can, and then I love doing that for my husband. And guess what? After dinner, he gets up and he washes the dishes because I did the cooking. He washes the dishes. We can have a very traditional role or very untraditional role. It's what's best for your relationship. Fuck what everybody else is talking. It's what's right for your relationship. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They want to make, this big, huge, no, I am an independent woman. And therefore I will be damned if I'm going to serve him his plate. He can get up and do it. Well, guess what? If that's something that he enjoys doing, getting up and serving his plate, then by all means, yeah. But
you know what I love more than anything, Becky?
Yeah.
You know how when you're cooking and you go in and your man's sitting there after he done got a nice shower, got his clothes laid out and took a shower, all that good shit, gets in bed, and you come in with that big spoon of food and you're like, here, baby, taste this, I'm cooking. And they're just like, And then they just sit back with this such content look on their. I love that. I love that more than anything. I love serving my husband.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why when people are like, I have people ask me all the time, do you talk to your husband the way you talk to? No, fuck no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be married to him if I had to talk to my husband the way I talk on this panel. My husband says all the time, he says, babe, I know for a fact, every time you leave this house, there is a chance that you could get killed doing what you do. He said, I don't want you to worry about nothing when you have to go out on these streets. He said, I want you to be focused on what you're doing and do what you do and bring your ass back home to me every night. He said, but when you're in this house, he said, I don't want you to worry about shit. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Whatever's going on out there is going on out there. And vice versa goes for my husband. You know what I mean? My husband works his fucking ass off, dude. He works 17, 18 hours. I don't want him to worry about a goddamn thing. If I could wipe his ass without it being gross, I probably would, but I ain't doing that. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do any and everything for him.
All right, out of
Well,
curiosity, can we hear the question Chris was going to ask before we keep moving the goalpost on this
I forgot
conversation?
what.
And that's why I wanted to bring it back to you
Well, I
because I
did
know you
stop and
forget
ask him in
sometimes.
between, and he didn't say anything. So,
So I wanted to say something about the
hold on a
chivalry
second.
thing.
Hold on one second. Hold on. Wait, Chris, what were you gonna say?
No, I said I forgot what I was about to say.
I'm
I
sorry.
forgot. No, it's
Well,
okay.
can I go with my red flag question? Because I've realized ladies have this certain viewpoint often when they're in a one-on-one. It was supposed to be a one-on-one relationship. A lot of ladies have that because I've dealt with this in past relationships. Like me being a man that wants a one-on-one relationship, I don't care if a woman's a baddie. If she ain't my girl, I'm not gonna be looking in her direction. I'm gonna see that as disrespectful to my woman. Becky brought up earlier when she was early in her relationship, she'd be looking at a guy and her guy would have a problem with that. Are you aware of what his problem was more than just your thought of being insecurities? Is that
yes.
you was actually creating an insecurity? If he's supposed to be one on one with you and you're looking at other men, that makes
No. I
him.
wasn't I was not looking at other men. Let's say, for example, I would get up
Oh,
to go
okay. I
into
thought
the
that's what you said he
restroom.
was doing.
No, if I were to get up to go to the restroom, I mean, at one point he just like grabbed onto me and sat me down. Let me tell you what I told this man. Um, if you think I am such a whore that I'm gonna have a quickie just by going to the bathroom, what are you doing with me?
Right.
Okay, okay, I
That's where that
understand.
conversation. That's where
Yeah.
that
Because
So he was
conversation came in.
Cause I had an ex that
over
she would be
possessive.
having she would have her eyes wandering at other men and she'd be like, well, I admire handsome men. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, you should have nothing to worry about. That just seems insecure. And I'm like, you don't understand.
No,
You're looking at another man. It's to me, it's like you're looking for other options, like I might not be the best one. And if that's
agree.
the case, why are you here with me? You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got eyes for another woman. I'm in love with you. I'm trying to be with you. My eyes ain't finna wander somewhere else. And I was just told that it was insecurities and I need to
No,
get over those thoughts. And I'm like,
no.
but you're making me feel like, you might be shopping for a better option.
No,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with
Yeah,
that
I can
statement
understand.
100%. Neither
Yeah,
does
I
my
can. I can.
husband. He
Now,
So
doesn't
see,
have
me and
one
my
right
husband,
now.
on the other hand, me and my husband, on the other hand, I'm starting to realize that mine and my husband's marriage isn't like everybody else's. We'll point people out to each other. You know what I mean? I'll be like, damn, look at that bitch right there, like the fat ass. You know what I mean? Like, damn, or somebody will walk past, and I'll be like, damn, that motherfucker, he smell good. You know, eyes is a thing for me. You know, I'll be like, oh, baby, you had some pretty fucking eyes. You know what I mean? But we're not gawking. There's a difference, right? So there's a disrespectful pointing some like big booty bits or some pretty eyed motherfucker out or somebody that walks by and smells good and acknowledging it, you know what I mean? And then just being disrespectful. There's a huge, and again, because of communication that me and my husband have, we were just talking about this last night too. You know, we were because we were watching something and they wanted to have a threesome and then, whatever, it all went left or whatever. And everybody's trying to do everything behind everybody's back and all this weird shit. And me and my husband's golden rule has always been, look, we'll do whatever. You know what I mean? And he's like, I don't give a fuck. You want to go be with somebody else? Cool. Just let me know so I can be on the same even like playing field. He was like, so, we've always been like that. I mean, even when I was stripping and shit like that, like people like, oh my God, I could never be with somebody that was a stripper. And he's like, that shit don't bother me because I know what the fuck she's doing. And when I was doing something else, guess what? He knew about it. So when we first got together, you know what I mean? I'm like, look, I'm not gonna hide shit from you. This is A, B, and C. This is all I'm doing. And if it's not, I'm not really looking for a relationship at all. I was not at all. I really just wanted to fuck my husband, to be honest. I've told some of you all this before. I was not looking for a relationship. But then that's when it happened. But it's always been communication with us,
yeah,
especially in
because
every level: finances,
that
sex, religion, everything. Because if you
that
don't,
was a
it's fine.
that was a big issue with me and my ex that I was talking about because I felt like she was gaslighting me with this whole insecurity thing. And I'm like, well, if I'm with you, why should I be looking at another woman and smiling and eyes following and
Yeah, see, now
it's
that's all
like,
this. That's kind of disrespectful when people are doing that. It's one thing to acknowledge, you know what I mean? And again, if you would just hypothetically, we were together and we never had that conversation to where it was like, hey, babe, you know it, because I know I've seen men and women. This shit cracks me up every fucking time. There'll be somebody on TV, like a superstar or something, you know, just whatever, an individual on TV in a movie or some shit, and bitches be getting mad. Well, was she standing her for too long? Or dudes be like, oh, what the fuck you think he, you know? And I'm like, dude, it's a motherfucker on TV. What the fuck
Yeah,
is your
yeah.
problem?
Like
You
this is a
know?
motherfucker.
I mean, now
And I would
that's
agree
what
with
I would
that.
point out insecurities.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
point
yeah.
out
I'd agree
insecurities
with
on
that.
that situation. But in a situation where she's gawking over someone, yeah, no, motherfucker, you being disrespectful. Like, what the fuck is she doing? And you had every right to check her on that. And I'm proud of you for doing that because a lot of people, you know, just let that shit go. And then it ruddles and ruddles and ruddles. And the next thing you know, shit just goes left.
Yeah, because I think
I
it's
really,
cool, you know, you see someone, you're like, hi, and you're like, oh, that's a handsome man. Cool, whatever, whatever. But if you're like, hi, and smiling, and your head's following,
yeah.
and he's looking at you like, oh, I might have a chance with your girl because you can see as a man what another man thinking. I used to find that shit disrespectful as fuck.
Well, yeah, if she's straight up flirting with another man right in
Yeah.
front of you, then that
Yeah. Like I
respect is
said,
everything. Respect is everything.
acknowledgement
Mm-hmm.
is one thing. Being the thirsty bitch is another thing, or vice versa. I'll see that. I'll see dudes do that. You know what I mean? Be like, damn, motherfucker, what the, you gonna break your fucking neck to go look at this bitch? You know what I mean?
I
Like, I
straight
literally
up
had a
told
fucking.
Sorry,
I
go
had a
ahead.
dude run into a. I had a dude run in his car. His bitch was in the car. I was outside of the car, and ran into another car. I had a dude do that on a bike as well, like breaking their necks to look. And I'm like, what the fuck, you thirsty motherfucker? So
Like my wife that I've
somebody,
been married with for years, she used to dance like you, Summer, when we first got together, and I used to go to the club with her and everything. I remember one time this one girl sat on my lap and was trying to flirt. You know that bitch hit the floor. I picked her up, dropped
no,
her ass on the floor. Like, what the hell are you doing? Did I ask
you know
you to
what?
sit on my lap? Did I invite that over here? And she got up and got an attitude. I didn't come to the strip club. Even if I didn't have a girl and I came to the strip club, I wouldn't want just some random motherfucker to sit on my lap without permission. You
I
know
mean,
what
but
I'm
that's a
saying?
stripper's
If
job.
I
So you in our
if I
territory,
invite
get
you
over yourself.
over there, but hold on, she
I
went back.
mean,
Soliciting a lap
She
dance.
Hey, you
she
can sit
went.
on my
Hold
lap
on.
all
Check this
anytime.
out. And when I did that to her, she got mad as fuck because I didn't invite her in my space. I'm very much keep your distance unless I ask you to come to me, whether you're male or female. Stay within an arm's length of me. You know what I'm
Well, the
saying?
strip club's
I
the
like
last
my
place you need to
space.
be at.
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
but it's true.
every
I mean,
other stripper there didn't have no problem coming and ask me if I wanted to dance or company. Just this one chick was trying to go overboard with it. I mean, she literally came and sat on me like I'm her property. Didn't ask, can I sit here or
well, she
anything?
did that because she knew
And
you was somebody's old man, and hence why my
no,
husband. And see, that's
She was being
something that me
she
and my
did.
proactive.
husband
No,
never
no,
did.
no. Let me tell you what happened after I dropped her on the floor.
She
Because
did that because you were her man.
obviously she did not know because she went back to the dressing room and she was like, this broke ass motherfucker out here just gonna drop me on the floor, broke dusty motherfucker. And my wife was like, who you talking about? She pointed out at me. She was like, that white dude right there. She was like, fuck him. My wife was like, I do every night and he's not broke. And she was like, oh,
Wow.
that's your man. And then they ended up,
I never brought my
having a
man to
little
the strip club.
tension.
That brings a lot of fucking problems.
They had a
So
little bit of tension after that. Well, I didn't mind my girl, giving day. It was her job, you know what I'm saying? I didn't mind her giving dances and, doing her little thing on the pole and people throwing dollars. Shit, she's bringing that money home, you know what I'm saying? I know my old lady wasn't sleeping around on me and all that. I had
it wasn't.
confidence in
It
her.
ain't even about that. It ain't even about none of that, honey, because that's all good and gravy. It's gonna. I don't need. I don't. I just. It's just something me and him never did. We didn't do that. He didn't come to the strip club. He might come and throw me a pack of cigarettes or something like that. If I left something at home, he might drop it off. But we just didn't do that.
It's too much of a distraction.
I'm curious, why didn't she do
I'm
it?
there making money. I don't need to be there
Yeah.
conversating with him.
Well, she wasn't. She would come conversate with me
but again, the boundary. Everybody has boundaries. So when I make money and I'm in there doing my thing and he's doing his thing, again, it was just, it was.
Well, my wife would come
Didn't do it.
visit with me in between customers, when the clubs start to slow down. Other than
Yeah,
that,
that's
she
a
was out there
distraction,
making
baby. I
her
need
money,
money.
doing the
I'll see you when I
dances.
get home.
Oh, that's you. My wife could stay on task. Yeah, my wife could stay on task back then. I guess you're saying if you seen your man, you ain't even gonna want to do your job. You just gonna want to be over there with
Oh,
your
I never
man.
said that either because I make my money. You're not hearing what I'm saying. It's a
Yeah,
problem.
Well,
yo,
what would be a distraction of having him there? That's my question.
No, that's a distraction because you can't. Nah,
yo,
there's.
Well,
I
it's
told
with
I'm
any
extremely
job.
jealous and shit. So
It's with
that
any
I would
job.
feel some type of way, you know. So
I wouldn't want my husband
in that
to,
type of
you know,
space.
I was in the
yeah,
medical
I mean,
field. I don't want my
What if
husband
your
sitting
husband's
behind me as I'm logging in and,
hey,
having to do whatever I needed to do.
what if your
Well,
husband's at work?
I
He's
didn't
the
ask
one
to go to
slapping
the
her around
club.
on stage.
I didn't ask to go to the club though. It'd be different if I was the one that asked to go. My wife wanted me
Hmm
there.
Oh no, that's
She
fine.
asked
I
me to
mean, if
come in
I mean,
there.
no, that's
I,
good. It's y'all saying. I mean,
again,
I'm just saying that
what
that
works for
wasn't my
your
thing.
relationship, what works for
Right.
your relationship is the right way to
Now,
go.
I'll even say it like this. Now, I'll go and pop up and surprise my husband at work sometimes and bring him lunch and different things like that. And he might, come and pop up every now and then to do, something that I'm doing or whatever to support me. But, like even now to this day, like where he has his things he does and I have my things I do. I mean, every now and then they might cross over, but it's what
But
works for us. It's not that we're
yeah,
keeping it separate because
that was
I mean, obviously he knew if I went and did a party afterwards or anything, my husband knew every single fucking thing I did and where and how and when and who and everything. But
yeah.
it
My
was
wife
just
dancing wasn't the issue for me. My issue was that girl coming into my space. So after that, I didn't even want to go back to the club. And she asked me to go back. I was like, I don't even want to be in there because I didn't want
for me
somebody to invade
it
my
would be
space
more
like that.
if you know strippers and how petty strippers could be, it would be just more like, don't make me have to beat some bitch up. And it ain't because she's on my husband or anything like that. It just bitches is just it's different world in a strip club. And so which I'm sure
Oh, I know,
you
I
know
know.
that as
Some of them
well.
bitches can be
Um
cutthroat, yeah, and try to fuck
so
with your money and all kinds of shit, yeah, and try to get to your mental. I've
time for
seen
all
it
that.
happen.
I ain't got time for all that. I'm there to make money. I'm there to take other people's husbands' money. So
Sorry, too much.
your husband's money. And
Hey
that
man,
motherfucker
let,
home
let me ask
empty.
this. Let me ask this. When you see a couple at the strip club, obviously they're together. Do you would you purposely go and sit on the man's lap just to see
It
what
would
she would
depend.
say?
It would depend on each situation. You know what I mean? But I had couples come see me a lot. Let's just say that
Ah,
I was very
gotcha.
couple friendly. So I like women, so it doesn't. I'll flirt with her and I'll flirt with them. It don't bother me, and it's genuine
Would
because I like men and women. So
I agree. We used to go to the strip club together every once in a while. Well,
I love going
not
to the
all,
city bar.
every
Shit,
once
I
in a
still
while.
I'll be honest with you, even as a dancer, like we would get off work or whatever, and I would go to other clubs and hang out because it was just like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like I was there to spend money on them. Like, I don't know, I just like the atmosphere of the club. It was always, I always had fun. So, but I mean, like I said, it wasn't that my husband, I mean, I was an escort and everything in the very beginning of our relationship. And until I got secure that I knew things weren't going to go left, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't,
Hmm
my thing was, why was I going to change everything up just because some dude came in my life for the umpteenth time and said that this is, he's going to change my life, which Curtis never did that. But you know what I mean? I'm like, what makes you any different than anybody else? And so slowly but surely, I did start seeing the differences. And then that's when he never, I mean, even I have a documentary out and everything about my story. And he speaks in it. He's like, I'm not, my husband wasn't going to tell me to go stop doing something because he was like, when it's your time, you'll come to that decision on your own, because I was very communication with him. He knew everything that was going on. And he just knew because of the things that had happened to me, him trying to force me or tell me to do something, it wasn't going to make it right. You know what I mean? So if I genuinely exited out of that, then, and like I did, I wouldn't go back. And I haven't.
I
So
know that was only the third or fourth time when that girl I had been at the club with my wife when that girl decided to sit on my lap and I had enough. There was the
I had to
time,
beat that bitch up.
not the time before that, but the time right before, like 2 times before that. Like the second time I had went with her, this one girl came up to me, asked me the corniest line. She was like, "Can I butter your biscuit?" I was like, "What the fuck is a butter bit? What?" And this chick looked like Peter Pan, y'all. Looked like a little boy trying to grow up. I was like, I was
I'll tell
already
you how
thrown
bad
off
it was.
One of
then.
them lost
But
boys.
the one
Me and
invading
my
my
husband, and
space
then
without my
Isaiah,
permission was just an overboard thing.
and then I'll let you go. I'm gonna say one thing. I remember one time, and this is why I'm like, because I just know how bitches are, you know what I mean. And I was kind of always the top dog anyway, so I already had shit I had to deal with from dumb bitches. But I remember me and Curtis were arguing one time, and he was just on the phone, and some bitch just like don't first of all don't get in my arguments. Don't get in my arguments. Stay the fuck out of my arguments, especially if I'm arguing with my husband. And she said something. She said something along the lines of, I can't even remember what the fuck she said. All I know is instantly she said something about my husband, yelling or something like that. And I was like, hold on, babe. And I put the phone down. And I beat the shit out of her. And I picked the phone back up. He said, did you just beat that girl up? I said, yeah. She don't need to be talking to you fucking crazy. What the fuck is wrong with this bitch?
That's
So,
my job. That's my job.
right. I was like, I'm cussing you out. This bitch ain't gonna say a motherfucking thing. I'll beat this bitch up. So it was just, I know my boundaries. So it was never, I want. It's not about like, oh, I was scared my husband was gonna, get a dance. Nah, fuck that. I'll pay for dances for him. I don't give a shit about any of that. It's just,
And
if
that
you want
goes
to play
back
with me, I will beat you the fuck up.
and that goes back to what Isaiah was saying earlier. It's a thin line in getting in between a man and a woman and their argument. If a man's being physical with that woman, yeah, as a man, it's your job to step in. But if they're only being verbal with each other, just stand by at a safe space and watch what's going on and make sure he's not violent towards her. Because for all you know, if it's just an argument and they're cussing each other out and you're like, that man shouldn't be talking to her like that, and you go over there and say something, you might just get your ass whooped by both of them. It might be a couple like Summers talked about, or like me and my wife would be like, hold up, motherfucker, this is our deal. Who the fuck are you stepping into this argument?
Yeah. I wasn't saying,
Yeah.
you gotta get, you sit there and watch, right? You see some shit happening, right? When it gets physical, you jump in. I'm not saying go
Oh yeah,
deep fucking
yeah,
in.
oh yeah.
You separate. I
I
mean, you're not there to fucking escalate the situation and make it worse or nothing, right? Like, you're just
Okay,
there to
yeah,
fucking stop. I mean,
No.
stop her from getting an ass whooping, or maybe even fucking him from getting a goddamn ass whooping.
I just
Yo,
needed
but hold up.
clarification on that because
Trying
I
to
don't want to
fucking
see you
chill the
put your
shit out and
I
separate.
don't want to see you put yourself in a situation, brother. Because
I'm
like
gonna
if they're
play.
just being verbal, they're being
Oh,
verbal. You know
I'm
what I'm
gonna play
saying?
devil
I watched
advocate
the
though.
verbal. I sat there actually at the bar a fucking couple weeks ago. We're out in the fucking one of the local, I don't know, whatever bullshit bar scenes. Dude, dude comes in chick's fucking face. They clearly had some history, whatever the fuck, right? 10 minutes, watch this shit, right? And after her loudly screaming about his tiny little fucking dick, get the fuck out of her
oh come
face. He
on.
Usual
fucked.
shit.
Wait. That he fucked her best friend. All this bullshit that she's now yelling, get the fuck away from me. Because he came up to her, right? He got. She's sitting on a bench and he's up on top of her, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking choke this motherfucker. So, right, no, I sat there and watched. She dogged the fuck out of him, and one of his friends got in her face. And she's like, "Don't even start. Don't even let me start on you, you fat piece of shit." Uncalled for a little bit, maybe, but also, I mean, this chick is like, I mean, probably your size, Summer, and she's dogging the fuck out of these two big ass dudes. Dude, everybody gave a standing ovation on the bar patio that heard it. Like you're talking like 100 fucking people heard this motherfucker get dogged out with his friends as they fucking walked away tail tucked, right? But I was sitting there, I was waiting
Yeah,
for
she's
him to
putting
put a
her man in
fucking
his
hand down.
place because
I
he
was
was in the
gonna go
wrong.
up. I was gonna go up. My friend said, "Chill the fuck out." My other buddy's sitting there watching too, and he's like, "All right." So we're looking. But we let it play out, and she dogged the fuck out of him. And if we had stepped in, right, then we would have been the bad guys. And also, though, I mean, it
Yeah,
would
you might
not
have
have
been
been nearly
fighting
as
all three
fucking
of them.
entertaining and funny as it fucking played out to be. Holy shit! I mean, dude was a fucking douchebag. But like no. But again, like I said, I'm not saying you need to step in immediately. You got to watch how it fucking plays out, because then
Okay.
you can become the bad guy real fucking quick. Just because it's a little couples dispute that you take some kind of way. Might get a
Yeah.
little heated. Might get some words thrown around and shit. Right? Looks like it's gonna get heated until it's like that point. Right? That's when you step in. That's when you step in. Right? But you
Oh
know.
yeah, for sure.
To
You
be
don't want to
fair, to be
watch no
fair,
man beat on a woman. That's for sure.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, this situation, though, like that, I just, it looked like it was like right there, right? Like I saw his fist balled the fuck up while those two were fucking talking, right? That's why, literally, a conscious fucking choice in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna grab this motherfucker by his neck and throw him straight through the fucking door, like. But thankfully, it never got to that, and
All right.
yeah, dude. Oh
So,
my god.
fellas,
Yes, ma'am.
Brosberg, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Probably. Oh. Is there anything that you would like to discuss that's men women related?
Nah, I feel like. Oh, you know what? I was just
Clitoris, it's a myth.
I was just looking at something on the gram. So, but between y'all talking and me looking at something on the gram, I was researching something. So, you was talking about submission and
Yes.
femininity.
Oh, we were
Let's
supposed
get
to
into that conversation.
Yeah.
So, what's funny is because there's okay. I'll have people say to me, "Well, Summer, you're a feminist." I think it's how you say it. And I don't necessarily label myself as a feminist because, why, yes, there are women issues that are dear to my heart and I will stand up and fight for. I will equally fight for men's rights as well. Because, again, I have 5 daughters and I have 5 sons, for those that don't know. Yes, that's 10 babies. So for me, I can't, while yes, being a woman and things like that is important to me because I'm a woman, and I love all my womanly ways. I don't know some of the feminist stuff, or when I hear people talk about it, it's some of it I'm just like, I don't know. And submissive happens to be one of those conversations. So I remember a long time ago when I would hear the conversation, this is before I got married and stuff like that, and I would hear people use the word submissive. It was always in a very abusive way. So when I got out of those situations, I was like, yeah, fuck that, being submissive to anybody. And more more and more I got away from, things that were abusing me and hurting me and stuff in situations, the stronger I would get. And, by the time I met my husband, as most of you all have seen, I'm a pretty strong person. I don't take no shit from no man, no woman. I don't give a fuck. But when my husband created trust, right, and he created a atmosphere to where I can literally lay everything down, and I know I can trust my husband with my life, literally. Then I got to understand what submissive was. And like, I am very submissive when it comes to my husband, and I love it, right? Like, I love not having to be bossy and not having to be, the one that's in charge of every single thing. I love being able to just be like, yeah, with my husband. But I hear other men talk about being submissive, and it's in that abusive way. And so I think that, in my opinion, I think that when men create an atmosphere, if that's what they want, right, in a relationship, I think when they create an atmosphere without the abusive, without the ego, and all of that in it, I think women, in my opinion, and I'm speaking as a very strong woman, I don't think it makes me any less stronger by being submissive to my husband. I think if a man can create a safe atmosphere, and submissive doesn't mean that he holds his thumb over you and da 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 da. That's not it at all. Yes, I'm more gentle with my husband. Yes, I'm more, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just completely opposite than other things with my husband. But I hear these guys on the internet, and he's like, if my woman don't do this, and oh well, she'll speak when she's spoken to, and all this other shit. How do you all see submissive and like
Yeah.
Not like that.
Real quick.
Not like that.
Nah, you know what's really crazy though? I've been a very lucky man. A very lucky man. See, I gotta say this because when we in New York, they always complain about women being aggressive and all that shit. When I deal with a lot of when I dealt with a lot of women, right here in New York, like they was having this talk, like yo, girls from Brooklyn is mad rough, son. I remember I didn't have let me tell y'all, I had lint in my fucking pocket. You understand me? I didn't really have no money. You know what I'm saying? I just went to some random event, chomping it up with this girl. She had came off aggressive and stuff like that. But because I was just listening and observing, she got into what they would call her femininity. So when someone sat there and said about creating that environment, it's just the fact of the matter. I hate to say it, but having the gift of gab, number one. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. And just being that type of dude that's just kind of like just humble, but you still hold your ground as a man. You still like, yo, look, listen, I'm me. You know what I'm saying? But you talk about what you want to talk about. I'm gonna listen to you. And but if it get out of line, there's no reason. And there's a way you can address it. So if a girl getting disrespectful with you, you just be like, look, listen, you don't need to do all that. You don't need to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I'm just having a conversation with you, and their whole attitude is going to change. I've been in situations with dealing with those quote unquote aggressive masculine women, and they wind up being feminine to me, and I have to do shit. And they be like, oh, and then they get into this whole thing. They always want to compliment me. It's like, oh my God, you're so handsome. You listen to me and blah blah blah. So I feel like I definitely agree with Summer. It's the way you produce the environment. Because even with like certain dudes be like, oh, these girls are too masculine. I said they wasn't masculine around me. They was sweet, they was charming, calling me baby names and calling me pet names and shit. And I just would be listening to them talk. And they wind up just being like, whatever, I'll get their number and then we go from there. So there is certain girls I've bumped into that would be very aggressive and just be like, oh, shut the fuck up or call me the F word or, get really aggressive. And I'd be like, we don't even need to do all that. Like, I don't know why you doing all that. Like, just carry on, miss. Because it's also the fact of the matter why it works for me. I like being sarcastic. So I like being a little bit demeaning in some type of way, but at the same time, I'm like, look, listen, I don't have to disrespect you right back. I don't have to curse back at you. So the dudes online that say this, I can't disagree with them, but at the same time, it comes to a point where it is kind of toxic because they're like, if you don't know how to, and I'm gonna have to say it, if you don't know how to talk to women in a certain way, of course you're gonna think every single last one of them is masculine. Whereas me having the gift of gab, I know how to talk to women in a certain way where they can turn from directly being aggressive as shit to being feminine. And I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of a kink of mine. So when certain women holler at me, when certain aggressive women holler at me, I like that shit. I love it when an aggressive woman talks about you're sexy as fuck, boy. You want this pussy tonight? I said, oh, love what? I love that shit. So look, certain masculine women do it for me.
Aggressive can come in handy at times, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I gotta admit, though,
what other girl going to tell the waiter when we at the place that my food is a little bit cold? They need to warm that shit up. The girl is gonna do it. That's why I like.
I do like a aggressive woman though. It is kind of attractive though too.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a little. It is to an extent. Like I like a woman that does, that speaks her mind and stuff like that. And yeah, just a little rough on the edges though. I do kind of like that though.
See, to
Yeah.
each their own, right? Like I like it, it's soft out, soft, whatever, right? I mean, other places can be dominated. That's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But soft, polite. I mean, I'm the good girl chaser, right? I like the good girls, right? That's me all day long. I don't want a fucking baddie. I don't want fucking the attitude, right? And I mean, that's the thing, though, right? A chick can be independent, smart, have her job, have her shit together, have everything together, not be quote a fucking baddie, right? She don't have to have that the stereotypical attitude, the look, whatever, right? Actually, I don't fucking want makeup. I don't want that fucking Instagram fucking makeup face all day ever. Realistically, ever. I don't want simple, natural, right? Right, that's the chick, right? But But again, though, I understand to each their fucking own, right? And I can understand the attractiveness to some chick commanding, right? And I mean, realistically though, I mean, if a chick walks up to a bar and it's like, "You gonna get this shit tonight or what?" Right? I like, I can't say I turn it down, right? That's
You
some
would.
shit. That's some fucking shit. Too, but I think I'm. Jesus Christ! Sorry, that kind of threw me off. That was funny as fuck. That was funny as fuck, bro. Uh,
Well,
there's a certain level. I'll go. Although, and to agree with you, Summer, like what you said, where it's also partially dudes' fault earlier, right? How dudes are conducting themselves in fucking public, right? And talking to fucking women to the point where they think they have to be this bad bitch fucking mentality all the fucking time. Not every chick, obviously, and not every dude, but I, I, it just seems it leads to a point of like every on both sides being able to take disrespect easily where it is number one, maybe it's not there, right, somebody feels disrespected the way a chick talks or a dude talks to them, vice versa, right, and it's so easy to fucking do it nowadays because everybody's so fucking all up in their emotions all the time, right, that it just comes off a certain kind of fucking way as disrespectful, right? And I think that's easier to do than not, and that is also leading to like more turning off either side than not, right? Because you could be the chick that is super put the fuck together, everything's together life wise, blah blah blah, but you think you got to talk to some dude some kind of way. But now you're upset because you're not getting a fucking, a decent fucking guy, right? I mean, a realistic standard fucking good guy, right? And you're just getting these fucking assholes over and over again. And vice versa with the chick side, you're just getting the fucking, I don't want to say like, ran through whatever or just disrespect, whatever the shit. This chick with fucking these stupid, unrealistic expectations, right? But I think how we're communicating with each other is truly fucking breeding, and in that negative way, right? Communicating that, right? Because
Yep.
let's be real, show each other fucking respect, right? You don't say bitch to you don't walk up to a chick and call her a bitch in fucking public, right? You don't walk up to him and hey, what's up, motherfucker, right?
A
Well,
lot
I
of F
do
bombs.
say
A lot
half
of F
fuckers to
bombs.
everybody. I
well,
say
Yeah.
half fuckers.
How are you
Unless you're
communicating
summer.
in fucking public? How are you showing respect to the
Sup,
right?
fucker?
Yeah.
A lot of
So
F bombs.
fucker.
I
Oh,
think
don't
that's
see blah blah.
I think this is gonna be the last part of the conversation. I chime in because it's almost 1 in the morning. I gotta get up early, but I think the unfortunate thing is it's always the woman's job to find where she needs to be submissive at because you're going to have good men that want a submissive woman, but you're going to have bad men that are trying to push that trick bag just to get away with their dirt bag shit and be controlling. And they're going to want a submissive woman too, so they can neglect that submissiveness. So it's up to that woman to fill out the energy and know what she wants to be submissive to, and don't be submissive to something that feels abusive.
I agree.
I agree,
100%.
and that douchebag guy is gonna want to try and even force submission too, where
I'm not gonna play like I'm always a good guy. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood and I'm an asshole. So I love when my woman gets in what they call the masculine energy and she puts me in my place, kind of like that guy you was talking about. I would never ball my fist at my wife though. But if I'm, I'm kind of raising my voice, but I'm in the wrong because I'm raising my voice over something that has nothing to do with her or over something petty just because I'm in a bad mood. I like when she raises her voice over mine and puts me in my motherfucking place because I'm in the wrong.
Yeah. Sometimes it be like that. You know what I mean? Like sometimes and even outside of relationship, just in men and women in general. I say this a lot, right? And Chris I use Chris as an example and Brownsburg as an example and hell, even Isaiah. I mean, we've had a debate, but I don't think I've ever gotten anybody's ass up here really that's up here.
Nah,
I don't think so.
not at
Yeah,
all.
maybe a little, like whatever, but nothing mood
Got
swing or
heated,
something, but
but
never
Yeah,
anything
it
like
just got heated, but it never got like out of
yeah,
control. Like,
nothing
Well,
stupid.
Summer, and a
But
couple of
my
times we've had that energy where you were upset at me over what happened at that other channel, and I told you, we see different about it, and I'm not gonna go back and forth and argue with you about it, because if I'm gonna argue with you about it, I'm gonna put myself in a place where I'm wrong over what I perceive as you having a misunderstanding of what was going on. And I'd like to have that further conversation with you one day so you can understand what was going on versus thinking I was coming at you, sis, because I would never come at you. That's why I was trolling that same dude with you.
right, and I get that,
And
and yes,
and
you
I
are
did I
circulating.
didn't I did go quiet at a certain time and let you handle your business because I felt like you needed to put your foot down like I had to one time there, because I didn't like some of the things that was going on. I didn't like when they was taking it to some colorism type bullshit, and I agree 100% with you. That was off kilter, off base, and that's not reserved for someone like you that's multicultural and don't have racism in you. They can
Well,
save that for the racist white folk.
Can I ask you a
well,
question based off of what
let's
you just said right there? Right.
sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you said, you stepped out, like you look at yourself as quote, quote wrong, or whatever, you're stepping down from your argument, right? Now, relationship wise, like man, woman, in any sense, right? How attractive is that if a guy sits there to, he is stepping down regardless of how he feels, right, wrong, especially in the sense where it's him defending his feelings, right? In a situation where technically nobody can be fucking right or wrong, but he's automatically taking the side of being wrong, right? To avoid more conflict, right? How does that make, for I guess
Well,
for the women, how does that make you feel for the women?
I'll tell you why I did that with my sister Summer here. I did that with her because, okay, I did do a little bit of a trolling comment that I feel like she took out of the context that I was meaning for it to be in. But I also take responsibility because obviously I did that at a wrong timing that made her feel some kind of way. And I have to be understanding that, my timing was off and she was offended by it. And that's why I won't argue with her because even though I had a good intention, I obviously offended my sister when I did not mean to. So
Yeah.
there's no sense in me arguing with her. I'd rather let her have an understanding of where I was attempting to come to, but I obviously fouled up and offended my sister.
So I guess from the women's standpoint, is it unattractive when a man does that, right? As far as, this is, you know, bowing down, quote unquote, right? It's not quite bowing down, but at least taking that bottom road, not defending, just
I see it
just
as
kind of.
understanding. To call it bowing down, I would see that
Right.
as the
Yeah, yeah.
ego
I
coming
didn't
in.
have a better way to say it. That
So
wasn't bowing
to
down.
answer
So
your
from a
question,
woman,
Isaiah, like to me, and this is where I was talking about ego, right? To me, you should, if you care about somebody, whether it's somebody you call your sister, whether your girlfriend, whatever, friend,
Your
whatever,
mother,
mom,
whatever, yeah.
whoever, sister, anybody. If you care about another, woman, since we're talking about men and women, right? And you are realizing that maybe something you said or did hurt their feelings, and you're like, you know what, it ain't even that serious, like, and her feelings mean more to me than whether I'm right or wrong, and how I look to other people. Because if you care about somebody, right, and this goes for women to men to men to women, if you care about somebody and you feel like maybe they're off key because of something you said or did, it shouldn't matter to you about what anybody else thinks except for that person that you want to make it up to. And I think, and sometimes men and women, their egos get in the way of a lot of shit when it comes to relationships, especially with the opposite sex, because they're worried about what the same sex is going to think of them. They're worried about what their homies or other men that may see them and they may perceive them as weak or something. But when it comes to a woman, you're not being weak. You can't be weak when it comes to a woman. You're a man. You're supposed to be gentle with a woman. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
so,
guess. Wait, Mike.
Hey,
so
Let me clarify. Let me
let
even,
me.
hold on, no,
clarify.
hold on. Let me finish though.
Okay.
Even in
Yeah.
your questioning, you said it's bowing down. Why you would see someone apologizing or making something right, bowing down to the opposite person, to me that's an ego thing in itself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because otherwise you would just sit here and then saying, well, how do you think other people will perceive you or whatever? It shouldn't matter what other people think. That's the problem. We so worry about as a society because everything's, we got the internet, we got this, everything's instant. Everybody's opinions think they matter when really, in all honesty, they don't.
And
Especially when
that
it comes to a personal relationship.
and that's exactly where I was going, because a couple times over that incident that happened, Summer has been kind of snappy at me, but I understand that comes out of where I hurt my sister's feelings. And that's why I tell her every time, I'm not going to argue and go back and forth and yell with you, Summer. I'm open to have the conversation so we can have more understanding. And I take the responsibility where I was wrong, because nothing matters other than the fact that I offended my sis. You know what I'm
And just to
saying?
give you,
All that
Isaiah,
other
so
shit don't matter.
Well,
and so you hold on, Isaiah, and so you get a whole
but
story. We were on another panel that was definitely me being a female, me being an outspoken woman. I mean, I was 2 days. I was on that panel, and I'm talking about
you an
battling. And
outspoken
I was
woman, you
Raising
don't fuck.
hell.
I was raising all kinds of. I was called every cracker, peckerwood, you name it. It was fucking name. But I
One
didn't give a
man
fuck. I was
said it was a culture shock for him.
Right.
and I didn't let up. I was giving them every fucking bit of hot mess summer, right? Because that's who I am. And
And
bro
he
came in
deserved
there,
it,
and
because
yeah, they did.
an example of the conversation we was having about submissiveness. He felt like Summer should have submitted to what he was talking about after being disrespectful to her, which gave her that energy to go at him in the first place.
100%. And like I told him, the only person I'm submissive to is my husband, so he can kick fucking rocks. But anyway, so then he came in, and then there was, I don't know, there was a remark made by somebody, and then he said something, and I was just, it wasn't what he said. I mean, it was what he said, but it was, I guess, like he
It's
said,
kind
the
of the
tone.
timing too.
Right, because if he would have said that in another time, it wouldn't have bothered me. But I'm like, I'm sitting here, World War fucking 97 on this goddamn panel, and then you come in here, and now I feel like you done put me in a situation that's like, well, haha, and they did. They were like, that's why exile, da da da. And I'm like, hold the fuck up. You see me at my fucking neck, and you just don't help put the pressure back on my goddamn neck. You got me fucked up. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, and
And I said that to him.
I tried to explain that that's not how I was
And I
trying
wasn't
to
hearing none of it.
take the direct. Yeah, and she wasn't. And after that, I muted the fuck up and shut up for at least an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, she has a right to be mad at me. If I said something that hurt her feelings, I
Well,
don't
what made
dictate
it
my
worse,
sister's feelings.
it wasn't even like I said, it wasn't what he really said. It was the aftermath of the cause, is the cause and the effect of it, right? So everybody got on my ass and was like, ha, that's why your brother exiled said blah 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 exile blah. I was like, but fuck you and fuck him too. You know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those moments.
So
But
to clarify,
and hold on one second. And exile, I appreciate, and the attitude will now leave. The attitude wasn't left because I just felt like it was, you know what I mean? It wasn't acknowledged. And it, like I said, it wasn't the time. It was just the moment.
Yeah, and
It
that's
was
why I
about the
want to
right
have a
moment.
conversation with you. I understand. Obviously, I cracked a joke trying to lessen the tension on the other side so they'd ease up on you, and they used it as a weapon against you, and you got offended. And I was like, well, that was wrong timing for that. I recognized it for what it was. And I tried to explain it in that moment in a day or two afterwards, but you still wasn't hearing it. But it's
Yeah.
all good. I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I should have chose a better way or approach or something. I'd never meant to offend you, sis.
It's all good, and I appreciate it. And and go to Isaiah, what you were saying, like, to me also, like him, he could have apologized to me anyway, and I would have accepted. But like, I mean, it happened publicly, and he's saying it to me on a panel, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? So like, I think people, men and women, because females be doing the same shit. They always worried about what the next bitch is gonna think, and it's like, hold on, baby girl. At the end of the day, the next bitch is not gonna be there for you. Like, if you're trying to build something and you want to, and at the end of the day, I think we're all human, and that's what we want. And a person has many layers to them and many, many onions. I have so many. Just when you think you've gotten to know me, I promise you a new fucking chapter is going to come up and you're going to be like, God damn, bitch. Because that's just how I've always been. I have many, many layers, which most people do. And you can't worry about what other people are thinking about you, because the moment that another motherfucker's opinion holds weight in your fucking steps and how you operate in life, like, it's just not. Because I watch so many guys on this panel, their ego, they'll sit here and talk crazy to me. It's me and Exile, this is the first real kind of like bump, but still I wouldn't call it a big fucking, you know what I mean? It was more a little brother and sister, you dig, it was about it. But none of the men on this panel, I have gotten to some of these fucking battles, y'all have seen me get into it with men. And I get into it with these men because it's like, hold on, wait a minute. You want to go around here, you would disrespect women. There ain't a lot of women that come on panel anyway. And y'all don't realize this, but it is hard being a female, especially in the panelverse. Because if you're not over sexualized, and no matter what you do, you can't do it right. Like, it doesn't matter what. And you're going to have fucking 500 guys on your fucking ass that don't give two fucks about your feelings, and they're going to talk about any and every fucking thing you do. So, but I point out all the time, there's tons of men I don't argue with online. There are tons of men that I do not argue. Fuck boys, I'm gonna argue with. I'm gonna split their fucking guts wide open. And I don't give a fuck. People be like, God damn, Summer, you be going too far. No, I ain't went far fucking enough. Okay? I'm finding every day I'm thinking of a new way to get onto a bitch made motherfucker's brain. And the bitch made is not the dude that's apologizing to me, or it's not the dude that sticks up for me. It's the motherfucker that's gonna disrespect me just because I'm a female.
I mean, there's many times, I don't know how often you're watching over there, sis, but there's many times, you know, the men are just wanting to focus on what they want to talk about and get their viewpoint out, and they're kind of talking over Demi, where I'll try to stop the panel and be like, hey, hold up, I'd like to hear Demi's opinion on this. You know, Demi was trying to talk. Let her talk. Let me hear that. Because I mean, that panel's a little overpowering with men versus females.
I have a question for Isaiah. Whose opinion are you concerned about? Are you concerned about the person that you're having that conversation with as to how they're going to view if you're being outspoken about your feelings and how they're making you feel? Or is it the people around that might be listening to a conversation that they have no reason to be listening into?
Well, hold on, Isaiah. Before you answer that, peace to the chat. I hope all of you guys have it's at this point a good morning and a good day afterwards. I appreciate the conversation, and thank you for the chat for participating. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna listen while I fall asleep. So you guys have a good
night, bro. Thank you.
All right, Exile. I'm right behind you.
All right, Juice.
No, I was asking, right? So, you know, like Exile said, he took the step back, right? Held his tongue, whatever, bowed down. I guess that's a bad fucking wording for it. But if you're from the chick's side, right? You're watching your dude do that in an interaction, right? And you, I mean, we were assuming he's fucking he I don't know, he's right or whatever conversation, he ain't wrong. But you watch him take that road where it's the negating of conflict and further argument and just again subsiding his opinion, right? Does that make you think more or less of him?
No, not at all. I think he's a man that can sit here and put his ego to the side and make right something he did wrong. Why would I ever think that's weak?
No, I think
necessarily that he did wrong. It's, you know, it could be that it was wronged against him, but he's.
However, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is,
sounds like you're trying to perform for the fellas, you know.
Right.
I think please, if I'm getting this wrong, so you and your significant other per se are having an argument.
No. You're
or am I the witness? Am I watching?
Is watching an argument happen that, I mean, it doesn't matter who's involved, but whatever the fuck the argument is, your man is just assume that he's in the right, but your man takes the road of, I don't know, complete de-escalation, just whatever, even apologizes when your man's in the right and the other person is in the wrong, right? How do you feel about
I understand.
Yeah.
Men die every day because of not of stupid shit. So if my man decides to squash something that could end
Yes,
up stupid, I'm
exactly.
gonna think he's a fucking king. That's what
Okay.
I'm gonna think.
It's maturity
Because
I mean,
though.
men,
If you
we could squash it right there, and then
well,
we take care of it when we get home. You know,
yeah, it's maturity, and
Yeah.
especially
that
those
part.
examples of like
Let's
when
not go home.
if it's my lady, if it was my lady, you know, if it was like if it was
Why
my
why
girlfriend,
ruin the
hold
date?
on one
yeah.
You
second,
know,
you guys.
Oh,
Ghost, just so you know, you can join us, but just so you know, there's absolutely right now we're doing a panel discussion. So we're talking about relationships. Please join in with the panel. No trolling, no talking over, none of that. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
yeah. I was
Sup,
I'm gonna
Ghost?
okay,
so
go ahead. I just wanted to let you know. But
I was
welcome.
gonna
Go
say
ahead.
real quick,
Thank you,
like
Holler.
I was gonna
Holla.
say like it's never been my intention to want to argue with whoever I'm dating, whoever's my girl in the streets. I don't like that shit. Because I just don't, you know what I mean? Because my thing about it is, I'm gonna
Agree.
calmly say we could talk about this when we get in the house. I'm not gonna do this with you right now. Like I remember I had a disagreement with somebody, with some girl that I was attracted to, and I said, you know what, you got it. You said what you said, and I respect that. And I just was like, it's cool. Imagine if I started arguing back. I'm like, bitch, this is what the fuck I said, and blah 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 blah. It wouldn't make me feel better because I'm gonna be like, yo, if I'm wrong, if I'm right and I know you're wrong, my point is I'm gonna make you look stupid without even having to do
Imagine
anything.
if
You
you
understand
win
what
an
I'm saying?
argument against your
Hold on,
woman, it's
hold
not
on,
even an
Ghost.
argument.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
go
Yeah,
ahead.
Ghost.
Hold
sorry.
on, Ghost.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Hold
My
on,
bad.
Ghost. My point is, if it's in a situation where I ain't saying what there's all with certain women, right? Like certain women, like, look, my whole point is I'm trying to understand you. But if you doing stuff indirectly to make me look stupid, I'm gonna make you look stupid more than you gonna make me look stupid. You know what I'm saying? And in other situations, if it's like, yo, I don't want to make you look stupid. I just want you to understand my viewpoint. And my thing is like, let's have a conversation about this. But in this environment, you're not in a good headspace. I need you to be in a good headspace when we get home. And it's not about me trying to over dominate her and be like, oh, because that's a man. Da-da-da. It's not that. It's just like, look, you're not in a good headspace. Let's calm down. Let's recuperate, and let's have a conversation. And I learned because I think this is a thing. This is my philosophy. The first woman you're gonna always know. The first woman you have to deal with is your mother. That is the first woman you have to deal with. And my mom yell at me, "You're like Bronze, shut the fuck up." And I'm like, Mom, can we talk about this a different time? And I don't even get the chance to talk. Like I'll just be like, yo. But the whole thing that I'm saying is the first lesson that you learn about women is from your mother. That's true. You get a
I
whole
agree. I
perspective.
don't agree with what you just said, though. I agree with the mother part. I don't agree with, like, you said that you were going to sit there and have an argument with your woman. I don't agree with that.
I didn't say that I
wouldn't
was gonna
argue.
have an
He
argument.
didn't say that.
I didn't say that. Though.
He
Oh,
actually
my bad.
said he don't want to argue with her in public. He would rather them calm down and talk when they get home.
I said that I
Likewise.
disagree with arguing with my woman in public. I'd rather
Yeah.
go home and have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
I
My bad.
agree with that.
Maybe I misheard that. My bad.
You know, me and my husband were just talking. Even like, you know how I'll see people on Facebook. I hate this on social media. A couple will get in an argument and it's all over fucking the thing. You know,
Yeah, I
me,
hate
I'm
that
the
shit.
type of person. One, I don't like people knowing my business. Like, I'm not going to social media. It's not what we do. And not only that, but like, I'm not going to sit here and go. I'm not one to even go to even a bunch of my girlfriends. Like, I got one friend and she's a married chick, or you know what I mean, like, or been in a relationship for a very long time. So she's so on my equal level to have a conversation with when I need to vent about my marriage or something like that. You know what I mean? I never think it's a good idea. And I'm going to say this for anybody that is listening to me. I have been married for almost 19 years and I have very healthy, very happy marriage. Do not bring a bunch of people into your fucking marriage. Don't
Yes.
argue in public because that is
Yes.
not what you need to be doing. You know what I mean? Your husband and your wife or your girlfriend and boyfriend, whatever setup, or two chicks, whatever, I don't care, whatever, your significant other, like they're a representative of you. And you just can't do that. And the more you bring people into your relationship, like I don't like going to parents, like we don't go to our parents, we don't do none of that shit. Like we're gonna work that shit out. You know what I mean? Like, and you're not gonna know on social media, like, oh, Curtis and Summer's fighting. Like, no. We don't do that shit. Like, I just that's not healthy. It's not. And then not only that, you create you create stupid shit in other people's head because okay, y'all venting, y'all arguing right now, and the motherfucker, oh, he gets on my goddamn nerves. I can't stand this motherfucker. And then 2 minutes later, you like, oh, he's my hero. You know what I mean? And motherfuckers just like, bitch, you was just like, just don't do that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That shit looks weird. It's stupid, and that is not what grown ass people do. So many people do that shit, and that's when, and you're like, oh, well, then you want to tell your friends to stay out of your relationship, but bitch, you bring them in every time you upset. Be grown. Like,
True.
write in your diary, go for a walk. Like, have one person. Do not, if you are married or in a long-term relationship, I love people, but man, if they fucking single, they ain't got no goddamn advice for you. The bitches are single. They need to
Bro,
talk to other single people.
real
What the
quick,
fuck?
My mother always
And no
said the
disrespect,
way.
hold on, no disrespect to any single people out there, but you can't tell me shit about my 19-year marriage. You just
bro.
can't.
Mine was
My
fucking
my
literally. I
mother.
had her friends texting me. This is how to be a boyfriend. This is how you be nice.
The hell?
That's
What?
No. My
Go ahead,
mother
Becky.
always told me the way that you speak about your husband is the way other people will treat him.
Yeah,
It
everybody likes
doesn't
my
mean
husband way more
Yep.
than me. They love my husband.
it doesn't mean that I'm going to put him in this pedestal where he does no wrong. No, that's not
Right.
it. But if I'm constantly telling my sisters, he's such an asshole, he does this to me, he does that to me, and they tell me to leave him, I'm gonna be like, I don't want to leave him. Then who looks like the idiot? You that
Right.
supposedly is putting up with all this abusive, yelling at, which, by the way, I'm gonna let you guys know that doesn't happen here.
Right.
We
You're just
sit
using
down,
it.
we
Right.
have a conversation, and you know what? Does it get heated sometimes? Yeah, but our level of heat
Respect.
is not yes, we're not. I have never called my husband outside of his name. I've never called him an asshole, this.
Oh, honey, I
Because
have tried to run my husband over with a car. I've tried to stab my husband. I've done some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna front. Like, I was abusive as fuck
but
when we first got together, but I'm not that way anymore. But no one
I've
knew about it. You know what I
already
mean?
yeah, no, I've already dealt with one relationship like that. No, my husband is what I like to call a quiet strength. He
And for the record, it
doesn't
wasn't my
showboat.
husband's fault. It was me because I was toxic and stupid. Just FYI. All right, go ahead, Becky. It really was. I swear to
He
God.
has quiet strength. Now about the submissive part, I used to be the one. What do you mean submissive? The fuck is that? I'll
Right?
be damned, because I used to see it as a boot on my neck. That's how
Mhm.
I
Yep.
would submissive gave to me. No, there there is nothing sexy. And me and Summer do pretty much the same thing as far as going out there and doing outreach.
Yes, Becky does. Hold on one second. Becky does amazing work out of Cali, and we need to sub to her channel. Garrett, will you get her channel and share it, please?
Oh,
I definitely want to do
thank
that.
you.
She does amazing work. Go ahead.
Thank
Sorry.
you. So and like back to what you were saying, Summer. Sometimes we need to be strong and be out there and handling business. I have pulled a man off of a woman while he's pounding her on concrete.
Yep.
But there is nothing sexier than being able to go home, look at your partner, and say, you know what? I just need you, and just melt into their arms because you've
Yep.
had one of those days where, one of the people you're helping out there either went back into addiction or died from addiction or whatever it may be. I love being that way. Now, again, getting back to the submissive part, my mother, my parents were married for 50 plus years until dad passed away. I never heard my mother calling him an idiot, an asshole. And they got into fights. Oh, you best believe they got into some huge arguments and fights. But she always did say, "That's your partner. That's
Yeah.
going." Yeah, that was one of the. What? Before we got married, she told me, "You are very strong-willed. You are stubborn as fuck, and some days you're gonna have to lower your gaze." Meaning be submissive. And I was like, I'm not going to be submissive. What do you mean? Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, you do have to sometimes be like, okay, let me
Yeah.
step back
It's
and
both
hear you out.
sides.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
I thought somebody. Go
No,
ahead.
that
Go
was
ahead, Michael.
One of the
Isaiah.
two of us. I was gonna say it's both sides, right? You have to submit to your spouse in both ways, right? We can't just be wild
Oh.
out here, running around fucking idiot men doing. I
But
mean, even
submissive
if
isn't sex,
it's
though. So I want to stop you right
no,
there.
it's
And it ain't even about
that's not what I
discipline, to
mean.
be honest with you.
When I say the out here running around wild doing stupid fucking shit, it's more so in a sense of right. You got shit to worry about. You got to worry about not doing stupid shit that you used to do that brings you home at night, right? Like you got to
That-
fucking survive for somebody
That's
else,
not.
right?
That's not
Like
what I see as submissive at all.
I think submission in the point. It depends. One. It depends on life's. Well, no, because men are out here. We boys, men, whatever the fuck you want to call it, just doing
Well,
dumb
here, let
shit
me
that
ask you a
puts us at
question.
risk. You know, like
Here. No, that's not. It has nothing to do with submission at all, actually. And so I just want to. I don't know really what you're talking about right now. Being submissive. Like my husband creates an atmosphere in our home to where I trust him enough to where I can be submissive to him. Like I can take care of him and I can allow him to take care of me. I don't have to be this strong, tough person that I have to be outside, right? Like when I'm outside, I literally put my life on the line like almost every night that I go out. Whether people realize that or not, because the shit I do is pretty scary, right? Or in his situation, like he does it, but he works a lot, right? And so when we're at home, like you know what I mean. I'm not the boss. Like I'm a completely. There's this. I'm just very soft. I'm very feminine. I'm very. You know what I mean. Like I can allow him to take over, and I love that. You know what I mean. It has nothing to do with me what goes on outside of our household.
I
It's
guess I
just
might misinterpreted some a little what Becky was talking about uh I guess somewhat the independence lifestyle. But at the same point, well, I mean, men have to be submissive in the sense too of, you know, their woman's wills, right? Right. Like it is a two-way fucking street. You are submitting yourself, especially in marriage, to this is uh a like the bond, the commitment, this quote one life together type lifestyle shit. Yes, you can have individual independence, but you also are giving up that portion of wild's the wrong word, right? I don't
you
want to
can be
say
independent and still be submissive. I'm very
yeah,
independent. I'm a married
like I'm
woman.
saying
I
wild's
mean,
the
I'll be
wrong word
you
to
know, my
describe,
husband worked so
but
much, honestly, the first like couple years of our marriage and shit. People used to think that I would tell people I was married and had a ring on my finger just that so people wouldn't hit on me. Like
yeah,
because my husband was so busy and I was so busy, our lives just, I mean, at home they collide, obviously, but he was over the road truck driver. I was, what I'm saying, starting my new, life in advocacy and public speaking and traveling and doing shit like that, right? And taking care of kids because he was over the road. So, like, submissive, I see, is what has to do between two people in a relationship. And you could be
yeah.
independent. Like, I'm very independent. Even as a married woman, I'm very independent. And my husband allows that because he knows that I didn't have I didn't have choices. Like my choices were taken away from me at the age of 5 years old until here recently in my life when I turned my life around and learned how to take control for myself. So my husband understands that there's certain things that it's okay for me being independent. That doesn't take away from him or anything he provides or any of his substance at all. It has nothing to do with him actually. It has everything to do with me. So I think when you're talking about independence, especially in a marriage or a long-term relationship, um, it may look a little bit different, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think submissive is when you don't have to be independent, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Mm,
I think people have a different definition of the word submissive,
Really,
and it all
submissive.
depends on their relationship. I again, because he's now the primary money maker. people would think that I'm like this. Oh, can I have $5 to go get me some ice cream? No, I know that I can go and spend the money, but I choose not to because he worked so hard for it. We're obviously trying to rebuild something or build something. For those that don't know, I was scammed out of my house. And when I tell you I lost everything in less than a year, I mean everything. So now we're slowly trying to build back up what we had. So I'm going to be very careful with the income so that we can go out to dinner, so that we can go out, and he's wanting to purchase a new car right now. Okay, you know what? So we do have that. Because I have a mother with advanced Alzheimer's, huge medical bills there.
Right.
So I think it's submissive. It depends on the relationship. It's nothing that has to be all bad, and it's not something that every person would even like to say that they have. I don't know. I really don't care what people think about whether, oh, she's so submissive or not submissive or whatever. I had a cousin that tried to get into our business, talking about, well, if you want her to serve you your plate, I don't see you giving her money. Little did he know that every time I opened my wallet at a restaurant, it was because my husband had already given me the money. And he was all like, here you go, here's the money for you to pay. Because
Right.
again, he's an introvert. This cousin didn't know this. He just saw me opening up my wallet. He didn't know that my husband already filled it up.
Right.
And then, yeah, so they don't know our relationship, and people are gonna want to get their 2 cents into your relationship, and it's up to you to put your boundaries up. And no, you know what? Sorry, this is a relationship of two.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
3, not 5,
Providing
not
to the
10.
greater good of the
but it's submissiveness is an
Or more.
inherent thing that women know, though. So that's what I mean. I don't even think finances have to go into it. Like when a woman, this is the thing. When a woman knows she wants to be submissive to a man, she's going to be submissive. Ain't nothing that's going to change that. You feel me?
Right.
That's how Summer knew that she wanted to be submissive to Curtis. You feel what I'm saying? So the thing
Right.
about it is, if a woman knows that she's into a man, and regardless if it's money or money not involved, she knows that. So that's why I think it's a trait that women already know. They inherently know that. Even if you want to talk about those ratchet women or this, that, and third, let them get around a man that they like, and I
Hey, I
don't give
used
a
to be
damn.
ratchet.
Yeah, let it be a woman that. I mean, let's really talk about it. You have women out here that'll be submissive to damn sugar daddies. Why? Because they're getting something out of it. They getting money. They getting pampered. They getting
Right.
taken care of. So that's why I think when you talk about submissiveness, it's an inherent nature that women know. And then with men, submissive, I don't even feel like it's weird saying a man is being submissive to his woman, but it's not. It's a catch-22 because it's like if I'm dealing with my woman, right? I already know that I'm gonna do these things for her because I truly care and that I love her, right? I'm showing I'm here for you. I'll do what I want to keep you around because I want you that way. See, and that's the thing where
Right.
I think some of us men gotta be careful, or just anybody in general, because it goes back to the idea about energy. I need to understand that when I give you this energy, this shit is gonna be well received and reciprocated. There's too many times people make dating decisions when they know they're dating the wrong person. I'm a prime fucking example of that shit. Too many times I've dated the wrong motherfuckers, and I sat there and being like, "Fuck, why did I do that?" But
All right,
I
Switch
hold on
should
one
have.
second, you guys.
Well,
We have
you
a
know what?
question.
At least you got the learning experience. You
Oh,
know.
that's exactly what I was about to say. I was like, I always kick back and I learn, and then I always have to say, "Yo, that's my energy." You fucked around and found out, and now you looking stupid. Calling my phone back.
All
Duh.
right, I have 2 people in the back, Alex and Harry. I'm gonna let you guys know. The
Oh
first time
shit!
you
Goddamn.
disrupt my panel, you're out. Because this is my panel. You're going to stick into the conversation. You're not going to overtalk anyone. Okay. Just so we understand each other. If you cannot do that, you will be exited. So don't be surprised when it happens. Because we've had a very nice. No, it won't be going because it's my panel. So this is where I take control of things. So Just so we all understand each other. We're talking about relationships. We're gonna finish and let Bird and Chris say what they're gonna say, and then you guys can join in.
Nah, I'm done. I was trying to be funny. Say, put some respect on it.
What makes you guys think? What makes
Hold
you
on.
virgins?
Wait. Okay, so you're just gonna wait until it's your turn. You're not gonna just jump on panel, so you can sit in the back. Because I'm not joking. We're having a good conversation. This isn't about you. You can either join it and wait your turn to talk. Okay? You're not gonna just jump in here and just start. Isaiah, what were you saying? Or
relationships? We're talking about relationships.
Yeah, we're
Men
talking
and
about
women?
relationships.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
And right
about 'em?
now, we're talking about the submissive thing. I think that some people just, you know what I mean? They take it's, you have to be, that's something that you have to, I feel like, have to trust the person, right? Because it can be something that can be used as a form of control and abuse if people aren't
Yes.
using it the right way. You know what I
I
mean?
agree with you.
And I
Yep.
think that's why so many women shy away from it when they even hear the word submissive. Because like even on panels when we're talking about it, and the way men think in their mind, like a woman's supposed to kiss their ass and do all this other kind of shit. No, you actually lost. That's why you're not up here.
No, they're not. But when you're like intimate with someone, they love that. Like you're supposed to be. They should be submissive to you in the
Well,
bedroom
yeah, but
and
I'm not.
like
We're
that.
not. We're not.
But
talking
not like
about
in
sex.
life.
But
Yeah.
we're not talking about like sex though, you know. I
Oh,
mean,
that's the
there's
only time they should
other
be
type of
submissive. They shouldn't be submissive
No.
like just normal.
No,
Like
it's
I'm the
not
man,
that.
you're the girl. Submit to me.
Well, Alex, when you've been in a relationship, what about your woman? Was she submissive to you besides
Always,
the bedroom?
always submissive to me. Yeah.
And she cared about you outside the bedroom, Alex.
Yes, 100%. In full love, and that's why she was submissive to me in the bedroom, and also in life, but in a like certain respectful way, not just like a slave to me and shit. But in the bedroom, it's submissive time, but not also like in a bad way. Just that's how they like it. It turns her on too.
Yeah,
She used
but
to
we're
tell
not
me
talking
like,
about sex.
I love
We're
when you
not.
like take what you want. Like I love when
We're
you
not
like that
talking
with me.
about. We're not talking about sex. So leave sex out of this conversation because we're not going to turn it into a sex conversation. We're just you could be submissive in a relationship to a point where, like, you know what I mean? Like you want to. You want to be loving and be caring and take care of the person and different things like that. It doesn't necessarily, like my husband's the head of our household. There's nothing wrong with that. I trust him enough to make the right decisions and for all of our family. Okay. We'll see you on Talk Your Ish. Holler. Y'all thought I was joking. I'm not. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's, sex and everything's fine, but that's not, that's such a basic conversation when you're talking about submission. And it shows that, right, it shows immaturity if that's the only thing that you think is where a person is supposed to be submissive. So, let me.
Yo, no lie, Summer, I'm about to drop down.
Sounds good.
I love this conversation. We got to continue.
Well, before you leave,
we
got to start what's the next panel discussion topic that you would like to talk about?
Oh man, because I'm not gonna lie, Summer, we went through a lot of stuff tonight, so it's really good. So I'm trying to like think. I think we should talk because
we can still
this is
talk
good.
more about the same topic, basically.
I mean, I think we should definitely have a part 2, Summer. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because I already have ideas of like who I know would go on a panel. Like, for instance, Hustling Muscular. I know he's gonna give his opinion on this. And then it's like where I came from, which is like the Red Pill / Manosphere community. I know that, like if we make a part 2 to this, I definitely think that I think it would really be a good conversation because a lot of us have great opinions on things, and I think that all of us that contributed tonight, especially with people I'm thinking about that be good on the panel. I'm gonna ask around, and I'm gonna see what day we could do this. I mean, I'll try to gun for maybe Sunday because it's supposed to be snowing, so I know I'm gonna be staying home. So
I'm working, so Sunday, Mondays are the only days I can't do it.
Shit.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. But I mean, for now, in my opinion, Summer. First and foremost, great panel. I loved it. It was a very great conversation. I was just awake the whole time. If y'all heard me unmuted, I was just listening.
No, I know you were listening.
Yeah, I was
You were
wide
listening
awake.
because when you joined in, you knew what we were talking about. So I knew
Yeah,
you were
yeah. But in my opinion, I think we should do a part 2.
Okay,
To
we
this
could do that.
conversation. Yeah. Great
Yeah.
conversation with everybody. Y'all was dope as fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna get some shout out. But thank you, Summer.
Most
Thank y'all
definitely.
all for y'all opinions, because I really like the opinions I gave y'all. But I'm gonna be out. Holla at y'all. Peace.
Holler.
Hey.
Have fun.
I'm really liking this conversation and this panel and the ability of having an adult conversation without
Yeah.
going sideways. I appreciate you having me up here and everybody contributing to the conversation, because nowadays it just seems that just even having an opinion that might differ from someone else, that's enough to, okay, cancel, you're canceled because you said
Right.
women should be submissive, therefore you are now. No, it's okay to have difference of opinions. That's what makes us so fucking unique, is the
Right.
ability to look at the one object and you describe it one way, I describe it another way. Neither one is wrong, we're just describing it differently.
Yep. I agree. Well, that was the reason too. Like we all know, I love drama. I love my drama communities. I like talking my shit. I love it, and I'm great at it. But I also, and that's why we're doing it on this channel, because I have my Talk Curious channel, which is just for that. It's talking shit. But then this channel is where I like to I like doing interviews. I like doing panels where we can have some substance conversation, because while all of us love trolling and doing all the shit that we do on the internet, I do believe we could learn from some shit. And so I like having panel discussions. And so we'll do a part 2, and I could see even a part 3 happening with this, if people get into it. But also, like I was saying, like I want to do conversations about race. I want to do conversations about religion. I want to do conversations about what people and identify, like whatever, I want to talk about all
Hey,
the
write down the list. That was the list right there. That was like 3 right there.
Yep. So those, and anybody that wants a topic or whatever, say something. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna have Katrina make the graphics for it, and we'll do a panel, and we'll do it. At least once a week. Try to do something to where we have just and I want it to be the hot topics and stuff, and that's why I will have the same like it was tonight. No one will be allowed to fuck around and be stupid, or like even over talk and talk shit or anything like that, because I want people to talk, and I know that the harder and the hotter the topics get, it's going to be, get more emotions into it, and that's why we kind of decided to start off with this one, like this little series, and then go into the next one, because I do realize it's going to get, the hotter the topic, the harder the conversation, but we've
But
got to
those are
start talking to each
exactly
other.
the conversations that we
Yeah.
need to have. Are the hard
Absolutely.
conversations.
Absolutely.
100%. So, and we'll talk about politics and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's discussions that people need to have. And I think there's a lot of people that have things that they don't understand or agree with, or, whatever. And I think their opinions matter too. I don't want everybody to have to agree on things, because I think when you disagree, you actually can learn some shit. Whether good or bad, you're going to learn something. So,
Facts.
I think it's been a good panel tonight.
I agree. Now I'm gonna go give my husband the biggest hug, because goddamn, I appreciate that, man.
I know, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll probably shut this down. I don't know what's everybody doing as far as.
Oh, they're waiting on the other side. Come on now.
I know.
The line, they lined up right now.
I know, right? So I'll probably go ahead and open up Talk Your Ish for anybody that wants to come hang out over there. But I appreciate everybody that came in, and we are going to have a part 2. So next week we'll figure out a time. But I'll be doing another one like this, and we'll do a.
Do you
relationship
normally
part
hold
2.
them on Thursdays, or is it varies?
I think
Thursday sounds like a great panel night.
Yeah, I think it probably will be a good time to do it, because I won't do it as late. I did want to start at like 9:30, but I got stuck in a snowstorm, so I was like pushing the time back. I was like, my bad, y'all. I
No, but
usually
it's the
don't.
perfect time though. The perfect time though.
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
You're
Yeah, I think it was good. I think Thursday's a good day. I think between 9:30 and 10 o'clock's a good time because you get
But are
people.
you east? Because I'm on the West Coast, so is
Well,
it?
yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
the time difference.
So it's
Yeah, so it's
2:30 here.
11:30 by you right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 11:30 here
Yeah.
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but are you on the East Coast, Summer?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in
Okay.
Kentucky.
No. Oh, okay. So it would be about 6 p.m. my time. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and I
Mm-hmm.
just think it's a good timing to get, most people are figuring out their day or whatever.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh my god.
Bless you.
Bless you
We
again.
gotta,
Salud.
Thank you.
we gotta get him
That's
over. Are you
disgusting as
taking any
shit.
Mucinex or anything?
What was that?
Was that?
I said, are you taking any Mucinex or anything?
Fuck no. I don't take medicine.
Oh, okay. All righty.
Take some
Well,
Vicks.
Okay.
Vapor up, put it in your
Eucalyptus.
nose.
I
Eucalyptus.
give you the
That's
Vicks. I
one.
love Vicks nasal sprays. That's such a fucking great. Not sprays.
all right.
Or
Well, I
use
think
a neti pot, flush
yeah,
out your nose.
yeah, and that's not
The
medicine.
sinus. Yeah.
Get
Oh,
some
I can't take
eucalyptus
medicines. I
leaf
can't help it.
from, usually at a park, they have eucalyptus. Grab some of those leaves, boil them in water, obviously, boil them, and then do a towel over it. Make sure you
Yeah.
burn your face.
Over
That
your
will
head.
clear
And
up
let
your
the steam up.
bronchial tubes.
I'm in
Yeah.
Cleveland. We don't have eucalyptus plants here.
you
Then
can
you'll
do
see
steaming
then
hot
you'll see all
water.
that snot coming out, into the
Oh, you
pot.
can see it. It's terrible.
Well,
Shit.
have a good
I
night.
got bad sinuses. I can't help it. It's just.
I have severe allergies. That's why I recommend that. I'm allergic to everything. I'm so allergic
It
to everything.
sucks. It sucks.
Yes, it does. Oh, you have a cold? I wish it was a fucking cold. Then I could get rid of it in a week. I have allergies.
Exactly. It's like no,
Oh,
I'm just gonna wake up feeling the exact same way tomorrow.
Yep. Well,
I'm
have a wonderful
congested,
night,
wrapped up
everyone.
all the time.
Thank you for having me on here. I really did appreciate the conversation. I never thought I was gonna be this wife where I was like, oh, what? Huh? I thought I was gonna be independent till the day I died. No, no,
Well,
no. I
you
live
meet
much
the
happier now.
well, and you meet the right person that changes everything for you. So
It really
I
does.
never thought I would get married at all. I was like, fuck, or have kids for that matter. And
I wasn't planning on getting married so soon. Once my kid hit 18. I mean, I dated and everything. I never brought anyone home. But once my kid hit 18, I told them it's mama's turn. And I started dating, not fucking dating. Thursday, Friday. And then my husband came along and I'm like, no, you see, you don't understand. First I was under my parents' roof. Then I was under my child's roof. Now it's my turn. I got married a year and a half later. And my biggest regret was not marrying this man the week after we got together because he is a wonderful person.
Mm.
But thank you guys for everything. And we'll see you next week.
all
Okay,
right, babe,
Becky.
I'll see you
Nice
next
to meet you.
weekend.
All right.
Nice to meet you guys. Take care.
Bye. Becky's awesome. All right, fellas. Well, we're gonna go open the other panel up if you want to come over, Isaiah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's coming
Which
over.
one is which one is it?
Talk your ish.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Our
Just wanna make
normal
sure
one.
it's
That's
one of the many you have that I'm subscribed to.
no, just 2 for now until I start my gaming channel, but just 2 for now. So you're good on both of them. All right. Well, I'll see you guys over there.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. Well, Talk Your Ish is in the link down there. Garrett linked it, so anybody that wants to, that is a straight Talk Your Shit channel. So if you got thick skin or small feelings, then don't come. Okay. Otherwise, we will see you guys next Thursday with this series. I guess it looks like we're going to be doing relationship part 2. Tell people about it if you want to join. Again, it's about having conversations. And so I appreciate every single person that came on panel that supported that. Even Ghost. Thank you, Ghost, because he did not do anything bad. So I appreciate that. Anyway, I will see you guys over at Talk Your Rich. I'm going to start the panel. So to everybody else, I will see you guys later. Have a great night. Holler.